My name is Kanyis Jetone. I'm a master's student from Makerere University, Department of Soil Science and Land Use Management, School of Agricultural Sciences, College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. So my research, this is a proposal. I designed a poster out of it, and it is about the effect of micronutrients combination with compost on biological nitrogen fixation in groundnut. So, beginning with the introduction, groundnuts are taprooted legumes. They are without root hairs, and their flowers are always yellow, and their leaves can be fed to livestock, and we can make many products out of groundnuts, such as peanut. They can be used as sauce, or they can be roasted and eaten. So they thrive in sandy soils, and they are also acid tolerant, but require calcium for pond formation. But on top of that, they also require sulfur very much. Therefore, gypsum could be the best fertilizer for it. There is increasing land degradation in Uganda, leading to low soil fertility and negative nutrient balances. And this affects production of many crops, including this genus. So here is the peak indicating how the groundnut looks like when it is in the garden. So in the problem statement, nitrogen fixing regimes like groundnuts offer a sustainable alternative to artificial fertilizers. After applying the residues of groundnuts, they can be able to add nitrogen into the soil. And the causes of low soil fertility issues are not about change, e.g., increased population, aging soils, leaching, soil erosion, global warming, and deforestation because of man's activities. So also, because of the land degradation, there is widespread micronutrient deficiencies in sub-Saharan Africa, where Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania belong. And the micronutrients are below the thresholds. For example, for manganese, it is less than 5 milligrams per kg in the soil. And this also affects productivity. The micronutrients are needed in small quantities, but they play a vital role in the plant growth. Their absence may hinder the growth of the plant. So, also pH affects micronutrient, and this is a challenge. If you look at this picture, the figure 3, micronutrients, most of them are taken up at a very low pH, even compared to some macronutrients. And then we have exception of molybdenum, which is taken up at alkaline pH above 7. And yet it is very essential in biological nitrogen fixation. So here is an example of the micronutrients in the soil that can help in the plant growth. We have copper, zinc, chlorine, manganese, iron, cobalt, molybdenum, and boron. So when it comes to objective, the main objectives of this study will be to integrate rhizobia with micronutrients in compost, enhance biological nitrogen fixation, and increase crop yields in Uganda. The specific objectives will be to assess nodule effectivity and effectivity under different micronutrient applications. Effectivity means formation of root nodules when the bacteria, mainly rhizobia, colonizes the roots. And then effectivity is the ability of those root nodules to fix nitrogen into the plant. Then the second objective will be to determine the effect of soil pH on interaction between rhizobia and micronutrients. And then the third, which is the last objective, under specific objectives, will be evaluate agronomic response of groundnut rhizobia and micronutrients. So here are the hypotheses. They are not different from the specific objectives. So according to the null hypothesis, for the objective 1, micronutrient application enhances root nodulation and its effectivity. And then hypothesis 2, low pH improves biological nitrogen fixation. And then the last hypothesis, according to the objective, micronutrient application boosts crop yields through rhizobia activity, that is biological nitrogen fixation. So when we come to methodology, the experimental materials will be Serenat 60 variety, which was developed from NASAR, which is the National Semi-Arid Resources Research Institute that is based in Serere, hence the name Serenat 60. And then there will be compost, peat, which will be a carrier material for rhizobia, which is by the Rhizobium NC92. And then there will be rain, which will be used in making soils alkaline. And then the experimental location will be Makerere University Agricultural Research Institute, Kabanyero, that is based in Wakiso. And then the field of that institute and also soil science lab will help us during the experiment. And then the experimental design will be split plot with 2 replicates, and then the subplot size will be 2 meters squared, and then the spacing will be 30 by 30. We use the bigger spacing because when we are removing groundnuts, we shall be needing enough space not to destroy roots so that we can assess very well the root nodules without breaking them. So that is how the split plot will look like. Yeah, the replicates are very little because we need to take care of too much care of the experiment, not having too big that cannot be easily managed. So when we come to how we shall do those 3 objectives, for effectivity and infectivity, we shall look for amount of root nodules on each plant per plot. And then for effectivity, after counting those root nodules, we shall go ahead, split them, and observe. If they are effective, they have a color which is red, which is of leg hemoglobin, which traps oxygen because the nitrogenase enzyme does not use oxygen. So if they are active, it means there is leg hemoglobin, which is used to tap. So we shall count those and also their number. And then for number 2, we shall determine the effect of pH on micronutrients and rhizobia. So when we came here to split plot, the main plots were about pH, and then the subplots were about micronutrients. So we shall also observe under acidic what is there, and also under alkaline what is there. So we shall have a pH range. For acidic it will be 5.5, 6.5, because it is very hard to maintain a pH stable in the soil. And then for alkaline it will be slightly alkaline, just above 7. So objective 3, we shall use compost instead of pH. One plot will have nitrogen fixation in groundnut or not. And from there we shall also count the number of pods per plant and also the number of seeds per plant. That is how we shall assess all the 3 objectives. And then lastly, data analysis will be done by our statistical package, and then the Microsoft Excel will be used to develop the graphs. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Tony, for presenting your poster proposal.
I want to acknowledge the funders, which is National Oilseed Project, also Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry, and Fisheries, and then Makerere University, in partnership with these organizations and the ministry, and then the lecturers for the support.
Thank you, Tony, for a very good presentation of your poster from your proposal. And as usual, you know, master student, PhD student, when they are writing their thesis, they would really like to come and get input from conferences. So it's another opportunity for you to give him input in his proposal so that he can take up or comment or any additional thing that he can take up from his proposal. Thank you.
Thank you for good presentation. My name is Masood. I have a little comment on the objective number 1, which you read it, accessing nodules in effectivity and effectivity.
Yeah.
That me, I think, while you scale the effectivity, so ineffectivity will be in the same line. So it's better to say just accessing nodules effectivity. That's all. Thank you. If I'm understanding.
Yeah, it's advised to take one effectivity, and ineffectivity will be covered in that.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Well,
thank you for the good presentation and the good work that you are doing on this proposal. I think for infectivity and effectivity, before I come to my question, infectivity is showing whether the rhizobia is infecting the roots. Then effectivity is showing now the effect after it has infected the roots. Does it have any significant effect on maybe the yields or the biomass? So maybe, but the method that he's using to do the infectivity may not be very effective. It may not really give him the information on whether they have been infected or not. Because once you cut the nodules and you check, depending on the stage that you're cutting, it may either show you, the results may be confounded somewhere. So I don't know whether you have access to molecular technologies and techniques, because if you do, that will give you a very good way to see whether the bacteria that you infected with is the one that is really getting into the nodule. Because you still have the resident bacteria, and these resident bacteria, they are very infective. They can be able to infect that nodule very fast. So if you have any access to molecular technologies or a molecular lab, I would suggest that molecular analysis would be much better to see whether your bacteria, the one that you added, has really infected your nodules. Thank you.
Thank you for a very good comment, and that one is taken. Tony? Yes.
Okay, thank you for a good presentation. I would like to get a clear clarification with regard to, you said you are going to conduct, or you are conducting your research using a split plot design. How big are your plots, and the number of replications? I was just a bit worried. You said you have only 2 replications?
Yeah.
That is not common. Statistically, replications at least 3. Okay. Thank you. Just doing that.
Thank you, Professor, for your comment.
Thank you, Tony, for the presentation of your proposal. I think in addition to what you are going to evaluate, it would be critical if you can go ahead and quantify after inoculation with the rhizobia, so that you are really able to generate evidence benefits of biological nitrogen fixation in reducing the burden of synthetic fertilizer inputs in legume growing systems. Judging whether the nitrogen fix would be enough to support the plant throughout its entire life cycle is very critical to generate these recommendations for policymakers and farmers to be able to take up these biofertilizer technologies. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the recommendation. We have 2 hands here, and these are the last one. Because of time, there are 2 hands here, Madam. 2 people are going to finish.
Mine, no matter what I said, I read that you are not designing the speech notes, but from your presentation, I heard that you were pH, you were micronutrient, and then composite. And you are using the speed plot. How can you accumulate those 3 factors while you're using the speed plot? To me, this is the speed plot, not speed plot.
Thank you for the good comment.
Mine is a small observation. You have very nice hypotheses, but now the linking of those hypotheses, how you are going to test them statistically, I didn't hear that. Maybe my mind was sleeping. So it is something that you need to, so that when it comes to the actual analysis, are you going to do, say, some kind of analysis comparing of certain variables, like ANOVA, that is analysis of variances, or how are you going to address that? Thank you.
All right, so we give him a round of applause for presenting his proposal, first proposal, and then he's going to. Now the second procedure is that we are going to confirm the names of the people who are going for the Tanga excursion. And so far we have 25 people who have confirmed for the second excursion. And I would like to invite Mr. Focus, who is going to read the names and confirm the names. After confirming the names, then we can plan for those who want to come back and those who are going to stay. And then after that, I will invite Professor to give clarification about the excursion. And then after that, we are going for tea. And after tea, we are going to have a closing session, which we're expecting by 2, it will be done. So after 2, we go for lunch, and that's the end of the business. So that's kind of an overview of the day. So right now, I would like to welcome Mr. Focus Kabuzi to read the names of those who have registered for the Tanga excursion.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. My task is very simple, so please pay attention. The same as we did the last time. If you don't hear your name, please you have to consult the registration table to sort the issue. Also, if I will pronounce your name incorrectly, please forgive me. The first one, Agnes Chepkons, Emmanuel Aneda, Pio Kuldan, Modekani Mkiza, Kinyua Michael, Anderson Kipukoel, Mary Kifuko, Dev Nyongesa, Dr. Alfred Michen, Dr. Patrick Gichen, Felix Matha from Keep Institution, Oforo Didas Kimaro, Godso Ulasa, Dr. Jeremiah Okeyo, Dr. Kilian Ndungu from Kenya, Kalo, Professor Carl Fegas, Professor Karen, Dr. Steve, Dr. Ursula, Julius from TU, Anthony S. Raba, Dennis Basigumkama. Yes, that is what I have. Thank you for listening. Any problem, please consult the registration table.
All right, can we get the list of the people who their ticket is scheduled for Saturday morning? Can you just raise up your hands? With a ticket in the morning on Saturday. Flight or bus? Flight ticket or bus ticket? Saturday morning. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, exactly. That's the number I have. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the Vice Chancellor. Thank you very much for the
6th Conference on Catalyzing.
On behalf of the WECAU Academy, I also take this opportunity to commend all those who to take us to where we are now. First of all, workshop as organizing from highest elevation point where the people of this region live. This morning, I will also brief you a bit on our post-discussion route tomorrow. We are going to start very early in the morning here because we have slightly over 300 kilometers to cover. From Moshi to Tangaport on the shore of Indian Ocean. And as I'm told that there are colleagues who would like to come back to Moshi so that they can catch their travel
on Saturday early in the morning. So we must also start here very early in the morning in order to achieve that. So the Secretariat will tell you again later on the exact time for the departure. Our route shall start from here, like yesterday. We started from the center, from the city center of Moshi municipality, and we are going to do the same tomorrow. We shall drive at the lowest slopes. The highway itself, they are famously known as Eastern Arc Mountains. They start from Taita Hills in Kenya, and they go from Moshi to Dar es Salaam. And this highway is designed in such a way it follows more or less along the fault line. And as we before we cross into this old basement complex mountains, we shall have our first stop. There we shall briefly stay there because it's the same point, similar to where we were yesterday. It's the same point. We have also the soil charts, our soils of the year. Yesterday we already introduced the one soil type, soil of the year of our celebrations of 50 Golden Jubilee of Soil Sciences Society of East Africa, the soil charts. So we shall have a brief stop point there. But there we just wanted to show you that here is where we have the boundary of the volcanic landscape and the basement landscape. Be a few minutes and then we shall proceed again. We shall be traveling along the escarpment of these Eastern Arc Mountains. And we are going to enjoy a very scenic, beautiful, panoramic view of the escarpment on the eastern side, and the plains of the Pangani river system, or graben system as we mentioned yesterday. The Eastern Arc Mountains on the eastern side, they block the moist winds from the Indian Ocean. So these areas, as we noted yesterday, they are also semi-arid areas. They are really quite arid areas, and that route will take us to a very unique, special point where we have an intersection of gypsols and the calcisols. And these gypsols are very important soils because they are now mined for soil amendment, but at the same time they are mined for industrial production, especially the cement production in Tanzania. So we shall have a rather comprehensive stop point there, like the one we had in Lunga. The people who have not seen these important soils, the gypsols, they will be able to see the soils, but they will be able to see the mining activity that is going on there on this unique soil type. And again, we shall celebrate our 50th anniversary there of Soil Science Society of East Africa, and we shall name the gypsy soils our second soil of the year. So when we shall be celebrating the World Soil Day in December in your countries, please remember that we have, as a society, we have soils of the year, and these soils of the year are soil charts and gypsy soils, and they are valuable soils in terms of management, in terms of amendments, but also in terms of industrial production. After this point, we shall continue. I do hope that the Secretariat would have prepared us a snack, or rather a packed lunch or something like that. So we shall have a stopover somewhere at the foot of the escarpment where we shall have our lunch and continue to enjoy the panoramic view of the escarpment of the Eastern Arc Mountains. From that point, we shall proceed through a landscape of undulating terrain. These are very old surfaces at the foot of the Eastern Arc Mountains. When these landscapes were dancing, and the blocks were uplifted, the younger surface is at the summit of the mountains, and the older surface remained there, and we shall see those old surfaces. These old surfaces are very important because originally they are the major historical sites of industry in Tanzania. And we were once here we were once #1 of sites of production in the world. And our route will take us through this undulating landscape, undulating terrain, which geomorphologically we call peneplains. So for those who have not seen peneplains, they will be able to see the peneplains. We shall see that our buses will be going up and down, and they are very scenic, beautiful landscapes. If you drive there and you really enjoy, then we shall see this extensive sites of plantations. These peneplains, the surface, the real surface, they have equal summits alternating with valley bottoms, and on the surface we have ferrosols grading into either acrisols or lixisols or luvisols, and the glaciers in the valley bottoms. These glaciers in the valley bottoms, farmers are trying to probably produce part out of it, but most of the ferrosols on the crest and the acrisols or lixisols or luvisols, they put seasonal maize. And again, for the ferrosols, we know these are very old soils, very poor in terms of soil fertility. So the pH is very low, and again, they need a lot of attention if you want to make a living out of it. So this will take us enjoying this scenic beauty, beautiful landscape, all the way to Research Institute and Lingano Center. We are very glad that we have the center director with us, who for us in Tanzania, we are going to announce during the celebrations. For us in Tanzania, we have elected him the president of the society, Tanzanian chapter. And we have Dr. Mwango, whom I mentored very well, and he is inheriting my shoes. He's also elected as the secretary of the chapter, Mwango. You can start there. He's elected the secretary. So himself and the director of the center, they will be now sailing this boat to the coming years and generations. We shall have a stop over there. It's a very old research station, which was part of the East Africa agricultural and forest research. Used to be called EAAR something of that. Those years, you know. EAFRO, yes, you know. We had even a very strong journal by that time. So you know, you remember very well that. So we shall have a stopover in that research station. The research station is on the crest or the summit of this plains. The housing is on the ferrosos, and we shall see a ferroso profile there. Dr. Mwango will explain it, and the center director also will explain. We shall see the office where the center director is sitting now. It's a very old office. If he allows us to enter the office, you will see the first director up to him. Up to him. And so we have a very nice, we are requesting the government of Tanzania that they should keep that building as a cultural heritage. Really, they should maintain it as a cultural heritage, and it should be a kind of cultural feature that visitors can come, and probably it can also be one of the tourist attraction center. And it was a research center dedicated for science research in Tanzania. And now they are even culturing science here is now even practiced by small holder farmers. It's no longer the crop of large estate plantations, but also the small farmers are also producing science now, and they are selling. And with the fighting of synthetic fiber and all these kind of things, the science of fibers are becoming a very important products. This center is located at the terminal of the basement complex and the marine sediments. So it's from this center we shall cross, we shall leave the basement complex behind and now enter the marine landscape. So the most important features of the marine landscape is that we have a lot of lime. This is dolomitic. Am I right? The Mwango is a dolomitic landscape, right? Yes. Yes. Maybe by that time we shall be a little bit tired. We won't be able to visit the countryside, but we have a lot of sinky holes. We have a lot of sinky holes around karstic features. For those who have studied geomorphology a little bit, they know this. I remember in 1987, while I started my master's degree in the Netherlands, I was given aerial photographs from this area, and I was asked to interpret them. And by that time, I didn't know what was it, so I was interpreting secular things. There were some features which were secular. The professor who came to me, he asked me, do you know this place? I said, yes. Because by that time I was working at the National Research in Tanga, so I said, yes, I know this place. Have you visited it? I said, yes, I cheated a little bit. But in actual fact, I had not visited it, and I had no knowledge of the materials which were there. I said, yes, this must be a limestone landscape. I said, yeah, you're right. Because we have many cement factories. you have ferritic properties here. No, just relax, enjoy. Whether it's a gypsy or it's a calcium, don't worry. But enjoy, relax. That is the whole purpose of culminating this conference with that kind of ideas. In brief, that is what I have for the excursion tomorrow. Is there anybody with burning question? But don't ask me whether we shall find a gypsy horizon there or not. Anybody with a question? Okay. After our health break, we are going to have a closing ceremony. I took a little time this morning to brief the Vice Chancellor of how we have been proceeding and engaging, and for sure, I admit that we had great engagement. We had a great engagement this week, and a lot of networking. And for we emeritus, we must feel proud that we have really connected the young people of East Africa together to make sure that our society excel for now and the years to come. We requested the young people whom we are handing over the society today to invite us again, we emeritus, to come here, or in Nairobi or in Uganda, after 50 years, to see how much you have achieved. My colleague there and Dr. Islaba, yesterday we were talking and we said 50 years to come we shall be there to see what these people are doing. So please invite us after 50 years to celebrate the centennial of Soil Science Society. Let me tell you one thing. We had the collapse of East Africa in 1977. We had the war between Uganda and Tanzania, more or less 2 years later. But our society never died. While the politicians were fighting for us, we were discussing soil science. While they were collapsing East African community, for us, we were still discussing soil science and supporting our farmers. So our society is a non-political, is the society to serve the people. So you should not be that into political atmosphere. Make sure you stand firm to protect this society. The many people I know and the many success in my life is the connections that I had with the Soil Science Society of East Africa. I participated in many other regional activities, Asareka, Sida, Vicres, Lake Victoria. We were able to form these consortiums because of this society. So please, this is
This is the so protected. So after in our closing ceremony, we are going to have from chapters. We are going to launch the new leadership that will take us, will lead us for the coming 3 years. That will be part of our celebrations. And that will be noted. And for those who are paparazzis, who document things, we would like those actions to be documented very well and to be made viral. Because we want the world to know that the Soil Science Society of West Africa is there and is strong, and it has now young people who are going to spearhead the mission. So thank you very much. I now call upon the Secretariat to take us to the next point, please.
Precise and clear information regarding the excursion. Dr. Slaba, later on we are going to give you time to summarize our conference and the milestone that we've achieved, but also the resolutions later. So we are going to give you a slot to do that. Right now I will invite you to go.
Africa, but also closing of our conference. I would like to call upon all the Secretary of the Soil Science Society of East Africa. Please, you can come forward. You have your special seat here in front. Secretaries of the Soil Science Society of East Africa, Kenyan chapter, Ugandan chapter, and also Tanzanian chapter. Please, you can come in front. Dr. Mwango, you can also come in front. Kenyan chapter, Ugandan chapter also, they are here. Secretaries? Ugandan is here. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. Yes. Thank you very much. Minimize. It's not enough. Minimize. Yeah, minimize. Good. Okay. Now I would like to call upon Father Anton Zeno again, so that we can open our session with prayer. Father Anton, warmly welcome.
So kindly I request you to be in a mood of prayer, and you may remain seated. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Lord our Father, we come to you once again this afternoon, asking you to send thy Holy Spirit to continue guiding us, enlightening us, to give us the knowledge that we really need, so that whatever we are going to discuss, whatever we are going to share, may be of the benefit of our people, of your people. But also we ask you to guide us through the important session of electing new leaders of our Soil Society of East Africa, that the whole exercise may be guided by you, that we may come into a good conclusion. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Father Anton. Yes, before we start, I would like to call Chairman of the Organizing Committee, Professor Kimaro, to introduce again who is in front of this big table, and then we shall proceed with our timetable. Professor Kimaro, you're welcome.
Members, thank you again. I've been studying here several occasions. So, thank you, Secretariat. Thank you, everybody. We are now starting our closing session, and we have our high table for this event. In front of us, we have the presidents of the Soil Science Society of East Africa, country chapters. We have the representative from Uganda. Apparently, the president apologized that due to other commitment, was not able to be with us, but is represented by his secretary. Please. And we have also the president of the Soil Science Society of East Africa Kenyan chapter. Please. And we have the president-elect. We have a ceremony here of ya kumwapisha kumweka wakfu. We have the president-elect of Soil Science Society of East Africa Tanzanian chapter. We have the secretaries of the chapters. Please, wherever you are, can you wave? Okay. The committee members, if you are in the executive committee of the chapters, wherever you are sitting, can you wave? Yes, we have there. We have those. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. And in the high table again, we have our Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic Research and Consultants, Professor Henry Laswai. And we have our guest of honor for this event. Is going to help to close our conference, but also is going to officiate the celebrations, the 50 years Golden Jubilee of the Society. And when the time comes, you will see him. We are also blessed to have former presidents of Soil Science Society from other regions in the world. We have the former president of the German Soil Science Society is here with us, Professor Kao. We have the former president of the Belgian Soil Science Society, Professor Karel Bankabot is here. Later on, when they are invited, probably they have other titles, other big titles, which for we East Africans, we shall need to know. And they will be presented as we continue with our celebrations. Thank you, Secretariat.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Kimaro, for that wonderful introduction. Now, let's embark on our business. We are going to start with the smallholder farmers groups that have been being delighted to join our celebrations of the 50th anniversary of our society. And we have 3 groups, one from Marangu Kilema Transect, and we have another one from Mbokomo Transect, which is in the middle. And then we have a representative from District Executive Director of Lushoto, who is representing the farmers from West Usambara, Lushoto. I will start with the group from Marangu Kilema Transect. The leader, please come forward so that you can give your remarks, and then we proceed. Thank you. Yeah, to save time, maybe all of you can come forward. Naomba wakulima wetu waje mbele, wale wawakilishi kutoka Marangu, mwenyekiti kutoka Mbokomo, Mwalimu Joshua, representative of the District Executive Director from Lushoto. Please come forward. Those three. Wakulima wote walioambatana na magrupu yao, naomba mje mbele ili tuweze kuwatambua na mkutano uweze kuwatambua. Asante. Tutaomba kiongozi wa Marangu Group, Mama Njau, upite mbele ili uweze kuzungumza kwa niaba ya kikundi chako. Karibu.
Thank you, soil scientists and our professors and all of you that we get the opportunity to stand here and learn many more from you, and we are thankful for joining this opportunity of the 6th MWECAU 30th Soil Science Society of East Africa. It's an opportunity for us. But apart from this opportunity, we farmers, small farmers, we know you are scientists, highly scientists, but what we want to see or to observe is just these simple things that can make us to know practically and to do it practically in our farms. It's true that in Kilimanjaro we have these small vihambas of less than 1 acre, 1 acre, that we do everything in that farm, that we keep animals, we keep households, and we are to get something from those farms, like economical incomes in coffee, in bananas, in fruits, and whatever. But at the same time, we are encroaching and we are degrading the soil, because that is the only thing we have, and that is the only thing we can do. We cannot do anything or we get income from anywhere else unless we encroach or degrade the soil. Now what we want to hear from you is how to manage, how to get more economic outside. Like I give an example, the opening day, that we thank MWECAU that they have taught us to keep these stingless bees, that economically we are gaining something. As you can see outside, we have honey that we are selling economically. At the same time, we harvest wax, where we make something like jelly for our skins, and at the same time as medicinal. And these projects are not encroaching or degrading the soil. What we want to hear from you is about a source of energy which we cannot encroach or use firewoods as the trees are concerned. We may have something else that can encourage us to use more than what we are encroaching. We have many things that we can say and we can apply, but practically we want to see what have you come across. Example, when you say addition of something to the soil, is it natural? Is it chemical? Is it harming our soil? Is it harming ourselves? And this cycling of animals, households, the farm, the soil, we need to hear some trees which are profitable and make fertility for our soils. What we can say is that we need something else to develop us apart from encroaching and degrading the soil. Thank you very much, and we are willing, very much willingly, to hear from you these simple things, as you are scientists in the world that can change our world of farming and other activities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, leader from Marangu Transect. Now I would like to call upon leader from Mbokomo.
Asante kuwa chuo, asante wale walioandaa workshop hii. Asanteni sana wanasayansi wote ambao wanashughulika na swala la ardhi yetu. Sisi ni wakulima kutoka kata ya Mbokomo, na pia ni kikundi cha Uangoma, na pia ni kikundi cha Teaka ambacho kinajishughulisha sana na masuala ya mazingira, hasa katika uoteshaji wa miti. Sisi tunafuga ng'ombe na mbuzi na pia kulima mazao madogo madogo. Kama alivyosema mtangulizi wangu, ni kwamba kweli katika ardhi yetu ndogo ambayo tunaitumia sisi wakulima wa hapa Kilimanjaro, ardhi yetu pia imechafuka, si ya kuweza kuzalisha tena kama miaka 30-40 iliyopita. Na ni kutokana na ardhi hii kutumika kwa muda mrefu na pia kutumia sana hizi chemical kwa ajili ya uzalishaji wa mazao. Na sisi kama wakulima tunategemea katika washa yenu mliokaa hapa na kujadili sana juu ya ardhi yetu, tunategemea kwamba mtakuja na suluhisho kubwa la namna gani tutumie ardhi yetu vizuri na namna gani tuweze kupata kipato katika ardhi yetu ndogo tulionayo hapa Kilimanjaro. Na pia mtakuja na suluhisho hata kwa yale mapato mazao kidogo tunayoyavuna kutoka kwa ile ardhi ndogo tulionayo, suluhisho la namna tunavyoweza kuyapatia soko yale mazao tunayopata na tuweze kujipatia kipato cha kuweza kujiendeleza na kuendeleza familia zetu. Tunashukuru kwa kutualika sisi kama kikundi. Viko vikundi vingi vya hapa Kilimanjaro, lakini mmetuona sisi pia mkatualika. Tumehudhuria washa mbalimbali hapa, ni pamoja na za ufugaji wa kinyuki wadogo, na tumeona watu tuliohudhuria washa hapa na wale ambao tulipeleka elimu kwao, tumeona mafanikio yao, wameanza kufuga nyuki, wanapata asali. Pia sasa tunakabiliwa kidogo na soko la asali. Kwa hiyo tunajua kwamba kukaa kwenu hapa sio bure, kutatupa suluhisho ya zile changamoto tulizonazo katika eneo letu. Tunashukuru sana kwa kutupa nafasi hii. Asante sana.
Yeah, I would like to give a little translation on what he has explained, that the group of farmers and the 1,000 slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro, they are also involved in beekeeping and also doing agriculture on the small scale at the Kihamba. Scientists gathering together here, they're expecting you to come out with solutions that they are going to help them to improve the soil health and production, but also market for the products that they're producing so that they can access market of their quality product, but also with the good amount of produce that they sell in the market to get good price so that they can get enough money to continue improving their families and their livelihood in the small-scale agroforestry. They've been participating in many workshops like this, and they've also been involved in educating farmers in their localities. And they appreciate being here or being invited here, and whatever they've learned from you since day one, they are going to take it back to their locality. But they're insisting for we as scientists to look for solutions that are going to help them to improve soil health, to improve production, but also to help them to access the market. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Minja, for the translation. Now I would like to call upon a representative from the District Executive Director of Lushoto. Karibu.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Debo. Thanks, team. My name is Dresiana Swai from Lushoto District. Thankful to hear. I'm here to instead of Lushoto farmers here at the Dedi district. Instead of Lushoto and the farmers district in Lushoto, we appreciate the partners, presenters at the MWECAU Catholic University to present the best goods, different topics. So the farmers, we are thanks. The farmers and Daddy from Lushoto, we appreciate it to hear at MWECAU to participate in this meeting. Also, we are saying when after this meeting, we are going to transforming and disseminating knowledge to their farmers on how to maintain land management in order to protect the soil and covering soil. So thanks. And you are welcome to the Lushoto district, because in Lushoto district we are practice farming on horticulture. So you are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Extension Officer from Lushoto district for representing the District Executive Director. Now, these are our farmers, and I would like to thank you for attending this meeting. Please, before you leave this place, you have to visit the exhibition, and maybe you can also support them with whatever they are producing from their farms. Thank you very much. Now you can have a seat. Yeah. After saying so, now I would like to go to another business. We have remarks from the president, former president of the Belgian Soil Science Society, and also she's also the IUSS chair of the soil chemistry, but also the vice chair of the VLIR board. She will present the remarks from the society, but also she will give remarks as a VLIR US BKB partner project leader from KU Leuven, and also colleagues who were also the team before she started the presidency. You're only welcome.
Can I give you this?
Yes. once our technical team is operating, you can start, Prof. And then, yeah.
So thank you for fixing for me. On behalf of the Belgian Soil Science Society, on behalf of the Soil Chemistry Commission of the International Union of Soil Science, on behalf of the board of LIRUS, let me think, and of course also on behalf of the WECAU project, I want to very much congratulate you with this very important golden jubileum of the Soil Science Society of... No, not mine?
This is not yours?
No, that's not me. So we wait a little bit for the technical. So I want to congratulate you with this 50th anniversary. And I hear there have been 30 conferences. Yeah. And I want to congratulate everybody for being here with us today, with sharing our information that you have, because I think it's extremely important. I thank you for helping me to show this map. Can you see what's wrong with it? This study was called a global meta-analysis on biochar, meaning they make conclusions for the entire world. Can you see what's missing? The entire continent of Africa, and in this one, also the entire continent of Latin America, where the biochar may be even the most important one, where the original soils that used biochar, they were here. Here were the African dark earths, they are completely missing. This is absolutely the first chart I Googled quickly this morning. I can draw up 1,000. Maybe there's 1 point in Africa, maybe 2. But you saw the variation yesterday in the soils. We have to do much better than that. And to be able to get a voice, we need to unite. We have to come together, share our knowledge, get ahead, and get it into people's minds that you cannot call this a global meta-analysis. We've heard from the partners how important this local data is. We've heard the call of the farmers that they need solutions not for the world, but for their field, for their livelihoods. Let me share from our own experience in Belgium how much data we gathered for our soil map. Can anybody guess how many observations we have? I don't know for Tanzania what is the scale of the soil map. 1 to 2 million. In Belgium, our soil map is 1 to 20,000. We are a country of only 30,000 square kilometers, so it's tiny. And we have 2 observations per hectare. This means, let me see, 5 million observations and 100,000 profile pits for a country of 30,000 square kilometers. It's ridiculous when comparing to Africa. And all these things that are coming, climate change, fertility problems, we already know that the soils in these continents, they react differently. We've seen it yesterday. And still, we are recommending from only that. So I think it's really important that the soil science of East Africa keeps uniting, keeps coming together, keeps pushing, and keeps raising the attention, like we did this morning, to get these data for their farmers, for their livelihoods. We know the problems can be really big if you don't. So thank you for coming, thank you for sharing. The motto of LIRUS, that I'm also representing, I'm wearing a lot of hats, I have to think, is sharing minds, changing lives. So it all starts in places like this. I've heard people talking, maybe we do this, this is interesting, maybe I want to try this. So things are already going for that. Also in the IOSS, the balance is still off. I was as the president of the Belgian Soil Science Society, I was in this board thing for a while, and as the chair of the Soil Chemistry Commission. And the last time I attended, the whole country of Africa only had 3 votes. Even the president has one vote, the president-elect has one vote, the past president has one vote, all the commission chairs have one vote, and the entire country of Africa only has 3 votes in that meeting. It was in the one in Australia, I think. And I was surprised because every time there is a recommendation from these societies, there is not enough votes to second even that one. So we have to keep pushing, we have to keep telling them that's not okay. We need a better representation of these places in data and also in the international unions. We have to tell the journals that this is no longer acceptable. So these are all things I noted that are really important, and I think we made a step today, a milestone today, with the celebration, with the conference, to move into the direction of changing these maps, getting the research sites that are there in Africa, getting them connected. We talked, for instance, about a database, which is Soil Temp. It has many data, very little of Africa. People are here, they can connect, they can try and get this data in the map so your situations are taken into account. So everybody who lives here, start thinking how we can raise the voice of East Africa on the international level of the Union of Soil Sciences and in academic publishing. Thank you very much.
And before you leave the stage, I would like to call upon the chairman of the organizing committee to present a certificate to our guest of honor, so that he will present certificate, because you will say why is this certificate to the past president of the Belgian Soil Science Society.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Karen came to Tanzania when she was very young. I didn't see her by that time, but she went all the way to Naliendele, Mtwara, to the border close to Mozambique. The people from Naliendele who are here, can you, okay, we have, yes, we have 3 of them there, yeah, from Naliendele. And so she started developing interest for Africa. So this data she has indicated here, she has been getting that feeling long time ago that why Africa globally is marginalized in that way. We talk global, but Africa is not in the global stuff. So she developed that passion, and then she moved from Naliendele to Ethiopia with the same rigor, with the same motto. In Ethiopia, they are calling her Mama Ensete, the Migomba Pori, we say. You know those bananas, most of East Africa knows them. Yes, because in Ethiopia, that is the staple food. It's like, it's a food like more than maize. And she went there to promote that on all these different kinds of soils, poor soils, healthy soils. And she had been working there for a very long time, making sure that people in Ethiopia sustain themselves, but also bringing the young people into the world of science. Personally, I met her in 2019, and we started working together since 2019. And there is where we got the word shoulder to shoulder. So I started working with her shoulder to shoulder since 2019. And we have our spirit, we have our belief, and that belief has been working all the time. And even shoulder to shoulder, we even created another one, mtu ni watu, a human.
Person is a
person. A person is our persons. A person are persons. And we have a project here we call person are persons.
persons, mtu ni watu. And she has been dedicating all her thinking, all her dreams to what she just said. Now, we as the Soil Science Society of East Africa, we are delighted and glad to honor you. We are awarding you a certificate of honorary membership to the Soil Science Society of East Africa, and I will request the guest of honor to award you this certificate so that you continue the spirit that is in you for the Africa and for this region.
Society. Now I would like to call upon to hear the remarks from German Soil Science Society. In German it's called Deutsche Bodenkundige Gesellschaft, but he was also former director of the Institute of Soil Science and Site Ecology from TU Dresden, so he will combine all his remarks from the society, but also from the Institute of TU Dresden, and particularly Institute of Soil Science and Site Ecology.
So let me open for you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, dear members of the panels, dear newly elected honorary member of the East African Soil Science Society. Yeah, and I also would like to give a welcome to the representatives of farmers from various groups of northern Tanzania. I think it's a good signal that you are here and may go back to your communities and act as catalysts, as transformers of the messages which we gave you here in this conference. So welcome again, karibuni sana. Yeah, I'm representing this delegation from Germany. I've met the members, and I need to have this one. Yeah, I was like just to refer to another major congress last year which took place in Florence, Italy, and there was a contribution by the East African Soil Science Society, and I had the honor to be a member of this author team, and so you could also report on the history of your esteemed society and what you are doing at the moment and what will be your future perspectives. And this gentleman had the honor to present the chapter which then was published in the book released by the IUSS. And I think it's a good piece of work which really shows what the soil scientists are doing not only here in Eastern Africa but worldwide. Yeah, and during the conference I think this was a good opportunity for networking. So this young gentleman also got introduced to the president-elected of the IUSS, Professor Victor Judah from Nigeria, and we met a good old friend from the Netherlands who is now a prominent professor in Madison, Wisconsin, USA. Yeah, let me convey the greetings of the German Soil Science Society, Soil Dig Deeper. We are a quite large society with about 2,200 members. I used to be the president and so convey the greetings of the whole panel. And within this, the group of 2,200 members, we have also members from other German-speaking countries, Austria, Switzerland, Luxembourg. And the good thing is that we have quite a lot of young people. So generation 25, 30, 35, and they are quite active. They form a group called the Young Professionals in Soil Science. So we are organized in commissions with working groups, and I'm now the head of this working group, Soil in Education and Society. I think this is a very important task, not just to stay in our ivory tower. We should also try to become connected to society. I think I go quickly through. So education and information is one of our missions, cooperation, communication, and also international exchange. Our partners are in Switzerland, in Austria, but also in Belgium, our neighbors in the Czech Republic, Poland, Denmark, and also now East Africa. And we have now a young person who can become an ambassador of our German Soil Science Society in your region of Africa. Just to give an example, we organized a nice conference together with our colleagues from Switzerland and Austria in the context of the Soil of the Year campaign. This took place in Austria. And then this year in May, we had a nice joint excursion together with our colleagues from Denmark. So the Soil of the Year 2025 is the Rensina, nice sites close at the Baltic Sea coast. Yeah, so a major or a lighthouse of our work is the organization of biannual conferences. So in Halle, we had a quite big conference. So normally we get 600 to 800 participants, a lot of international PhD students, and also participants from neighboring countries. And just 2 weeks ago, we had a very nice conference in southwestern Germany in Tübingen. So we have prizes and awards. The most prestigious is the Emil Rahman medal. Emil Rahman was a founder of the International Soil Science Society in 1924, a professor from Munich University. And then we have honorary members and what we call international corresponding members. They are also kind of honorary members. And here's the most recent list of this group of persons. And you may see this gentleman here, Professor Didas Kimaro. He was elected in 23, and then we have the past president of IUSS, Laura Berta Sanchez. We have Seppe Deggers, and finally we have also Ratan Lal, who is still active in his mid-70s, and the former president of IUSS, working in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, and another lighthouse of our society is the release of a journal that is also now got 100 years, the Journal of Plant Nutrition and Soil Science. I think some of you know that, have already published in the journal. And then 20 years ago we started the campaign Soil of the Year. So this is the motto, do good, but tell people about it. And this campaign has really got premium visibility. So every year, in the 5th of December, the International Day of the Soil, we organize a meeting in the capital, and normally ministers from federal departments like agriculture, like geo resources and mining, but also the prime ministers of one of our federal states take take the patronage. Well, this is a picture from 23. This is the Federal Minister of Agriculture, Cem Özdemir, who opened the session and was really engaged and also brought the message to the level of politics. And we have nice posters, and I think the IUSS now also took the idea of the Soil of the Year and have proclaimed that, and I think you will also become, or have become quite active in that campaign of the IUSS. So propagation of soil classification systems, our national system, but members of our society have also been very active in advancing the WRB, the international classification. You can see here Dr. Peter Schad. He was the chairman of this working group in IUSS, and former members of that working group, Deke Seppers and Karl Starr from Hohenheim University. Yeah, and then of course we also need to join together in Europe, and so we have a new campaign, the EU Emission Soil Deal for Europe, and here we have formed the consortium with colleagues from about 10 different countries in Europe, and the vision and the mission is to connect to people and use art and other tools to address people which have lost connection to agriculture, to forestry, and notably the soil. So soils in society, digging into narratives and perceptions for a deeper understanding. So that's the motto. So next year we will get 100 years old. So Germany was one of the founders of the International Soil Science Society, which took place in Rome. So only 4 years after this nightmare of the First World War. This is also something exceptional that scientists shared together, even though they were enemies. This was a real cruel war which took place in Europe, but also in other parts of the world. Yeah, and this leads me to the celebration of our anniversary, which takes place, or which will take next year in Hanover, northern Germany. So I will give you a warm invitation and to celebrate with us. Maybe some of you will have the opportunity to join us. It's end of February. Yeah, and then again, congratulations to the Soil Science Society of Eastern Africa, and all the best for the next coming 50 years. So thank you very much.
Hello. Yes, thank you very much, Professor Carl, for the nice presentation, which also has enlightened us. We were thinking 50 years we are old, but our colleagues are 100, so we are still young. So I think this is a take up to the presidents of the chapters now to see where our colleagues are, and then we can follow the steps. At this juncture, before maybe I welcome Chairman of the Organizing Committee, is there anyone who has a question? Professor Carl, maybe before you leave, can you please stay on the stage? Anyone with any question? Okay, thank you very much. May I now invite Professor Kimaro to say a word to the former president of the German Soil Science Society.
Thank you once again, the Secretariat. Thank you, Professor Carl. I met Professor Carl personally in 2014. He came to Sokoine University of Agriculture in 2012 also, and he was working with my colleague there, and
when he came for the second time, I don't know what happened, but I was sitting in my small office. It was a small cubic office, and I was told that you have a visitor. I said, visitor? I don't have anybody. Who said, yes, you have a visitor. And then he came at my office. I said, welcome. He introduced himself, and he explained to me what he was doing in Africa and in Tanzania, and in particular in Eastern Usambara mountains, the mountain part of the Eastern Arc Mountains that we shall see tomorrow. And he asked me if I was interested to join him. You see, for we Christians, when you wake up in the morning and you pray to God to give you your daily bread. And I just asked you, oh, so this is already the bread. I mean, you don't know anything, and here someone is like an angel asking you that you have a bread here, and I mean, there is no way you can say no. So I say, yes, thank you very much for coming to my office. I will join you. And then already in 2015, he invited me to TU Dresden. There is where really I discussed quite a lot, and I started learning from Professor Carl what he was doing in Tanzania and what he has been doing in Germany. He took me several excursions in Germany, in Dresden, many places where they practice science, water sanitation, environmental conservation. And what he told me, and which I don't forget, he took me to a water sanitation plant. Is almost like that plant covered the area, almost like maybe the central city of Moshi. And all the sewage, all the water from rivers are directed there, and cleaned and brought back into the house, into the houses for domestic use, for industrial use. And he asked me, you just drink the water, don't you worry, you don't have to buy the bottled water. And he told me that 1700 years, Germany had typhoid and cholera, like what we have here. But today, they don't have that history. And I remember, my wife, who used to suffer quite a lot on typhoid, and we were buying these tablets, Denk. And the Denk, those are tablets from Germany. I knew, oh, that's why we were getting these tablets from Germany, is because in history, they had that problem. So since then, I started making follow-up of him. And then 2018, he came to Tanzania. After 2015, he invited me to co-supervise a PhD student with him. And we worked in the Eastern Usambara. We supervised these PhD students. And one of the high-quality scientific paper I've ever published is the one which is in Scientific Reports, a journal of scientific reports. The Journal of Scientific Report is in number 30 from Nature. So I always dream about that article. Nature is the highest high-quality journal in the world, globally. And the scientific reports is number 30. Maybe it might have gone down a little bit now, but by that time, it was number 30. And that is the most high-quality research article I have, and it's just because of this. I learned the Germans' way of doing things. I think you saw the guidelines he gave us here on how the society should go. Germans are very detailed. And I'm urging my presidents here to take this message here. And it starts from there, to make our society, you see how they are organized. They have their own research groups. They have their research funding. They have their, even they publish. They have, and that's how we can rule the world. That's how we can conquer the world. So thank you very much, Professor Carl. This message, we are taking it home, and I'm urging my young presidents who are going to take over from here to take this as a serious message, together with what the former Belgian Soil Science Society president presented, the gaps that we have in Africa. Let's take those, and it will be very important, very vital for our institutions, for our research institutions, and for our universities, and for the generation 2030 and 2050 to come. So please, he is from Professor Carl also. I was nominated honorary member of the German Soil Science Society. He listed about 10 people there, 10 persons. Those professors there, I cannot even fit into their shoes. So I'm asking myself, how comes my name is in the middle of those giants there? Professor Lal is a very prominent professor, has more than 2,000 articles in journals, in high-quality journals. I was blessed to work with Professor Carl in 2013, 2015, and even co-supervise students with him. Professor Sepedekas, my supervisor, my promoter. These are very giant professors. If I'm with them, I always come down and so I'm surprised how the name is there. So I'm urging my young presidents here, the soil scientists in East Africa. This is a very good networking. This conference is showing us the light. In Mwenge here, Mwenge Catholic University, we have Lux Moon. Actually, this presentation here, to us, is a Lux Moon, is the light that will show us the way. So, we, Soil Science Society in East Africa, Professor Carl, with your contribution to this region, to science and to soil science, and especially in northeastern Tanzania, we have also Hana to award you a certificate of honorary membership to Soil Science Society of East Africa. And please feel free anytime to advise the society, to direct us, and to continue showing us the direction so that we grow and you become really our role model and mentor of this society. Thank you very much, and I will then request the guest of honor to award you again this certificate, honorary certificate, as a member, honorary member of the Soil Science Society of East Africa.
Thank you very much. I think you are overwhelmed and absentees.
Thank you very much, former president of the German Soil Science Society, for the good remarks, but also for the session. Now, before we embark to the East African chapter, you can see now we have cross-checked our list with 2 people. So we have remaining with the rest 3. Now, Professor Kimaro, also on behalf, I would like to stand you up again to finish the list of the remaining one. Thank you.
Your Excellency, guest of honor, if you heard my compliments, I mentioned the name of Professor Sepedekas. He's a prominent soil scientist who has dedicated his life in serving as a soil scientist in the East African region. He has mentored many in Kenya, in Tanzania, in Uganda, even the young people like Moses Izabiri, who is a professor now at the Busitema University. Those are the last young ones who he has mentored. And he was even once a soil fertility expert at our Lyamungo Agricultural Research. I think 2 of his children are born there. And I remember 2001, he came with his children and we visited the house where they were living at Lyamungo. We even found the house girl who was taking care of her children. In this conference, He has contributed one chapter in our excursion guide tomorrow. He has a complete chapter he wrote himself for our excursion tomorrow, and we are going to see his dedication there. He apologized that he won't be able to be with us. He is in Spain, but our conference is streamlined, is online streaming, and he was following. He followed on Monday, and I'm sure today, because also he's online streaming, I'm sure he's following. And as a representative of the Belgian, the former president of the Belgian Soil Science Society, coming to receive his honorary certificate, I am sure he's watching and he's receiving. So I request you again, Your Excellency, guest of honor, to present this to Professor Karen on behalf of Professor Sepedekas. Here, Eddie Depo. Professor Dr. Eddie Depo, he worked at the TARI Mlingano Center for many years. The 1 to 2 million soil map I'm talking about, he was behind it. The 1 to 2 million agroecological zones map of this country, which is guiding the suitability of all the crops we are growing here in Tanzania. He was behind this man. And this Mzee, I met him in 2019 when I visited Professor Karen, and we had quite discussions. And together with the Professor Dekas, he participated also in contributing a chapter in the excursion guidebook that we are going to use tomorrow. So we shall request you also, Professor Karen, to hand carry his honorary membership to the society. Yes. We request you to maybe now, Your Excellency, you steady there. I first met Professor Philbert Vumilia in 2019 while I was Vice Chancellor at Sebastian Kolowa Memorial University. That was the first time I met him face to face. Though I knew that there was an institution here, and I was hearing his name, but I had not met him face to face. Only in 2019 when we met. And I made a picture. I made a picture with him. We met in Morogoro. I made a picture with him, and because our discussion in Morogoro was very, it was a very. I asked myself, this brain, why can't I have it in my brain? And I made a picture. Is in my living room. That picture is there since 2019. So all the time I sit there, taking my breakfast, I always look at it. And it was fortunate that in 2020, I came to WECAU. My university had a problem, and I had to transfer students, almost 170 students and the staff. My son was also a lecturer there, and he was also losing the job. And I transferred the student here, almost 170 students. He received me very well. To transfer students from one university to another, it has a lot of implication. There are even some costs that are involved, because all the obligations is given to the Vice Chancellor. The good thing is I met him, this humble man, and he combined both the counseling, spiritual, praying, but also technically. And technically, he sent his staff to Sebastian Kolowa Memorial University he asked me, don't come again to MWECAU. I will send my staff there. So he sent his staff there, and the staff, they came, they worked with me, and we resolved all the hassles. I was really delighted when I decided to retire and come back to Moshi. He asked me, no, come and retire here. I will give you a desk where you will just sit and whenever, if you wanted to go back home, go. If you wanted to sit, sit. And he asked me, what's your profession? I told him that I'm a soil engineer. This university was a teacher, was focusing on teacher education. And he asked me, if you're a soil engineer, then as you sit here, help me also to mentor the Faculty of Science. And no wonder, as a priest, as a teacher, education teacher, he's allowing we soil scientists to sit here. And we have heard his speech on Monday. He was speaking soil sciences than we soil engineers ourselves. So we Soil Science Society of East Africa, we have decided to award you a certificate of honorary membership to our society. And because you baptize people, and today we are also baptizing you, that you are now in this community of soil engineers, because we have seen your dedication and the seed that you are putting here. He allowed me to establish a 5-acre plot there as a living laboratory. His precious land for maize production. You can imagine how many bags of maize he lost, which would have been an income to the university. But he allowed me to put a living lab there to plant the trees, which he doesn't know when he will get the money from those trees. You can see this kind of dedication. So he deserved this, right? I am requesting the Soil Science Society President-elect in Tanzania to hand over this certificate on behalf of the members of Soil Science Society.
Dr. Mango is the Secretary of Soil Science Society of East Africa. Dr. Mango, we have remaining with one person in our list, so I would like you to continue with the session as he was proceeding.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. Now we have one certificate, and this certificate will be provided to Professor Didas Kimaro. As you know, Professor Didas Kimaro is the outgoing president for our society, and for valuing his contributions to the society. And we decided to dedicate to him a certificate of as a honorary member, and also we appointed him as a patronage to our society. So, Professor Kimaro, Didas, come forward to receive the certificate, and we welcome the guest of Ghana, BC, to offer this certificate to Professor Didas Kimaro.
Yes, thank you very much for that session. Even myself, I'm still asking if I could fit in your shoes. Maybe, but I will try. Yes, let us proceed now. We shall hear the remarks from the President of Soil Science Society of East Africa, from Kenyan chapter. Please, you will give your remarks, then you will introduce your leadership team, but also later on we shall proceed by hearing honoring those founder members, and then also historical members. You're welcome, Dr. Golicha.
Thank you. Yeah, the guest of honor, sir, the I-table, colleagues in the room, farmers, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of a Kenyan scientist and all the East African scientists who are here. We are here today. We are here today. All of us brought us together by one thing. We are all brought us here, you know, by a substance beneath our feet. We are all brought here by soil. And you know, we have to be somehow appreciative of, you know, and think about the causes why all these brains, why all these busy, you know, citizens of the world are here for a period of 5 days. But the same soil that has, you know, brought us here is today facing, you know, a lot of challenges. And those challenges are common problems that does not respect boundaries. We have been in a number of, you know, meetings where we are told about 65% of African soils is degraded. So it's now our responsibility to reverse those kind of status. We have been in a number of forums where we have presented data showing a negative nutrient balance across sub-Saharan Africa, excessive nutrient mining with little taken back to the soil. But you know, it is our responsibility to think, you know, how to reverse those situations. We are living, you know, in an era of climate change. Mineral fertilizer is being blamed for contributing to climate change, but at the same time, there's an opportunity for carbon sequestration. So we are presented with both, you know, opportunities and the challenges. If there are people who can take advantage of those opportunities, are the citizens of the world who have been in this room for the last, you know, 5 days. Of course, as much as there are challenges that I just mentioned, there do exist some opportunities. Looking at what is happening in various East African countries, in Kenya, in 2024, we launched agricultural soil management policy that was ratified by the government. We are in implementation phase. But you know, such policy gives us a good start of reversing the whole problem and looking at soil health in a different dimension. We have a responsive environment because we do have a 10-year action plan, Africa 10-year action plan, starting from 2025 to 2034. But then we have to ask ourselves, as Soil Science Society of East Africa, what is our role in this 10-year action plan? What are we contributing in this 10-year action plan? You know, the other day we were in Addis during African Climate Summit, but the discussion on soils was so numerous because of, you know, the interrelations between the climate and the soils. So these are some of the, you know, policy environment that we need to take advantage of as a scientist and take this agenda further in order to enhance the food security and soil health within the country. Looking back at Professor, what have been happening during this conference, I really want to appreciate the method of the learning and the discussion that we had. On Monday and Tuesday, we had papers, scientific papers. You know, combining the scientific papers with fieldwork was a really interesting part of this conference that we really do appreciate. You know, from agroforestry, from agro, from the Kiamba systems, we all have something to take home. There's one emerging thing that's coming up, one key emerging thing that's coming up, you know, for soil scientists. And that thing is the issue of data sharing. In various soil health forums, we have spoken about data sharing. How can soil scientists in Africa share data with soil scientists, Ugandans, Kenyans? Because we do have a common problem. If it is soil acidity, you know, if it is soil degradation, we do have a common problem. But how are we going to share data for public good? We need to think seriously about that one. It's an assignment before us, as all of us, how we can share data for public good so that, you know, Africa is said to be data scarce. But if you look deeper, there are data, but the issue is that where are those data sets? Can we make this data accessible? I don't want to take much time. Maybe we'll get another time to discuss all these issues at length. But I want to go I want to thank the organizers of this conference. You know, we had a previous virtual meeting with Professor Didas, Dr. Minja, and the team, where we have been looking at the progress and to ensure that the whole thing is successful. So I want to really thank them on behalf of the scientists and the Kenyans who are here. Dr. Minja and others, they are very fruitful, even in guiding us on where to sleep, how we can get transport. You know, all this, you know, we really don't want to take it for granted. And I want to sincerely thank you on behalf of my colleagues. I also want to thank various partners from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, and other African and European countries who are all together and discussing one key issue, the issue of soil health in relation to food security. I want to thank all of you from various parts of the country. Here, looking at closer home, looking at my colleagues here, we do have some senior soil scientists here. All of them sitting here from, you know, Dr. Gicheru, Dr. Micheni, Dr. Nyongesa, Dr. Isilaba, the four of them sitting together, are some of the people that we have been together. We have been here in 2022, when you people took us to Kilimanjaro. I still remember that event. We had a similar Soil Science Society conference here, and then we went to Kilimanjaro, and we climbed up. They have been with us. We had a conference in 2019. All of them have been with us. So, although they have retired from the surface, they decided still to hold us and be with us all through in the matters of soil health. So I want to really thank them. I also want to thank, you know, the officials from Kenya. Dr. Koech is here, and our treasurer, Dr. Esther Mundi, who was due to unavoidable circumstance, did not make it to this place. I want to say thank you all for that. So I want to, I'm guided to introduce the members from Kenya by the MC. So if the people I've just mentioned, if you can just stand up and maybe wave. Dr. Mary Koech, our secretary, she's here with us. Thank you for coming. And then our committees there who are also have been with us all this time, the four officers that I've mentioned, kindly just stand up and wave to other scientists. If you are from Kenya and I've left you, sorry about that. It's not really intentional, it's time. And as I conclude, before I give it back to Master of Ceremony, I want to conclude by saying one thing. The key take-home message for us, especially for the incoming officials, is working together. That's the key thing. We have to find a channel. We have to find a method on how we work together as East Africans. That is a big assignment for these incoming officials. Let's find a way, a structured, channel of us working together as people from Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda in order to advance soil health agenda. And I want to thank you and stop there and give it back to Master of Ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you very much, President. I would like upon to call Chairman of the Organizing Committee, Professor Kimaro again, to say something about our colleagues from Kenyan chapter.
The president of the society in Kenya, so the president, the people must really see him. We are celebrating 50 years Golden Jubilee of the society. And my friend there and Dr. Islaba, this was this, they know. The society started in 1974. And in 2024, the society attained an age of 50 years. Now last year, when Professor Carl was telling me about 100 years, the centennial of International Union of Soil Science, so you see, International Union of Soil Science was born 50 years before ours. And I realized that, okay, so even ours is now half International Union of Soil Science. And when we were sending message, our message of the society to International Union of Soil Science, that's where the time I noted this number, our birthday. I started searching for the people who was behind the birth of this society. And I was told that there was Professor Zake from Uganda. There was a Professor A.P. Rio, is late now, is deceased, from Sokoine University of Agriculture, and Mr. Wapakala from Kenya. These three people, they met and they thought of forming this society. Professor Zake is there in Uganda, and they apologized lastly. He was to come. They even mailed me his ticket, his air ticket. And I was really overwhelmed that we are going to have this sitting here. But shortly, the family informed us that the journey would have been too long for him. But he is very well represented. So, while we are celebrating the 50 years Golden Jubilee of our society, we are recognizing our founders of the society. And in Kenya, we are requesting your chapter. Tutakusumbua tena baba. Tutakusumbua tena. We are requesting you present his certificate of honorary membership, and please inform him that we still recognize his contribution as a founder of this society.
Maybe you call your secretary or one of your young person. We still have a number of things here again. Yes. Maybe someone secretary can come and yeah. Hii mpaka tunakuomba watatukudia
have. If you are here, the certificate will, but you take it and give it to the guest of honor so that he can hand it over to the speaker. We are also recognizing the historical members. And maybe we didn't capture all of them, but we have selected a maximum more or less of 10 historical members who have been very active in the society, but now they are emeritus. they are retired. So we have selected a few of them, maybe 10 from each country, to recognize their contributions to the society. So we have the certificate of honor, Dr. Anton M. Kilewa. You just give it, and then if he's here, if he's not here, then you collect it on this. And then we have Wilson Aore. This one I know him because I started with him in Eskele, in the Netherlands, in 1987. And then we have Professor Boothi. And then we have Dr. Patrick Richel. Oh, yeah. Oh, my friend. This is a friend of mine. We have met several times. Yeah, a friend of mine. Yes, we have met. Professor Da Costa, is he still there? Da Costa?
Da Costa is in the U.S. University of
Yes, we met in Cairo in 1991. Yes, I still remember him. Yeah. Yes, and we have Mr. Christopher Njihit. Yes. And then we have my friend Dr. Anthony Islam. This is there with the fought good wars in Sudan. It is here. He's now a soil fertilizer consultant in Africa, and he's still working very hard. Mzee, tuletee mbolea hapa kwenye chuo chako sasa. Ipo? Tuletee mbolea. We have Joseph Murray. Yes. Okay. So, and then we have Daniel Mugeri. Yes, this one I have worked with him quite a lot. Is he still in the West Chancellor somewhere? Yes. Yeah. The Professor Gachene. Yes, is he still in Nairobi? Okay. And then Professor David Mburu. Retired. Okay. Thank you so much. So, thank you so much, Secretary. Please convey our greetings to them and tell them we love them. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to call upon to hear the remarks from the chairperson, President of the Soil Science Society of East Africa Leadership, Uganda, so that you can introduce, you can give your remarks, but also introduce your leadership team and also then we shall proceed with recognition of the founder members.
The guest of honor, the chair of this very important meeting, fellow presidents from the other East African countries, participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's such a great pleasure for me to represent Uganda on this very auspicious occasion, especially being the maiden opportunity that the new committee has had to attend this meeting as the Soil Sciences Society of Uganda, the East Africa Uganda chapter. We would want to start by saying a very big thank you to the organizing committee. This came at a time when we had just been brought in as the new leadership. We were beginning to take the first steps, but because of the able leadership by the team in Tanzania, a lot was quite easy for us, especially as we needed to do our work from the background. I would also want to say a big thank you to the MWECAU leadership for the conducive environment, the learning opportunities, but also the warmth of the staff with whom we have had to interact from here. I don't know whether members you kept noticing, but there was this such great respect the staff kept giving at the background to make sure our stay here was very comfortable. Asanteni sana. I would wish to bring apologies from our chairperson. That is Dr. Patrick Musinguzi, who was not able to come over because he had to attend a similar meeting in Ghana, the Phosphorus Conference, and as I talk right now, he is actually participating there. Other members of the Society Uganda chapter could not also be able to attend because of various reasons, but still I will be able to introduce them just for purposes of recognition, which I would want to do at this very moment. Our new president, as said again, is Dr. Patrick Musinguzi, who is a lecturer at Makerere University. I have the honor to have been elected as the publicity secretary. My name is Emmanuel Odama. I work for the National Agricultural Research Organization, the Cairo of Uganda. We are also thankful to have Mrs. Miriam Akelo, who is our treasurer. And then the Uganda chapter thought about a position which I think is not in the other East African countries, where we thought about, and we now have a publicity and a welfare person, because we thought in the day and age where we live, we need somebody very vibrant and tech savvy to be able to do our publicity. And so we have Angela Namatovu as the publicity person. We have about 5 executive members, all of whom are not here present, but I will still mention their names for purpose of recognition. The first is Professor Moses Isabirie, who is a colleague to so many of you here. He's a senior citizen. We also have Dr. Krema Kaizi, who has worked with so many of you as one of the executive members from Uganda. We have Dr. Emmanuel Opolot. He was here with us for the first 2 days, but something came up and he had to leave for Uganda. But he was here, he made his presentations. We have Mrs. Peace Acha Didi, who is a member of the executive committee. And then we have Mr. Donald Kayoza, who is also a member of the committee. As shared by the chairperson, it was one of our great pleasures to have had Professor Zake Julius, who was one of the founding members, as said, for the society, come with us. But because of not having that too much strength and because of past age, the family felt it was a little bit going to be difficult for him to travel alone because there was a long layover in Nairobi that he was to go through. But still, though he is not here present, he sent in his speech that if we have the time and I'm giving the permission, I will be able to read it at a later time. Looking forward as the Uganda chapter, Indeed, a lot is ahead of us. And I think, like the Uganda chapter, the other East African chapters are bringing in a new cohort of relatively younger scientists. This comes with these opportunities but challenges. Opportunities in the sense that we have shoulders to lean on, the fathers who have been there in the society, and I'm so glad that many of them are still very young, relatively young, in that there's so much opportunity we have to learn from them. And therefore, to my colleagues in other countries, I would wish to say that let us leverage on these opportunities. Let us leverage on the wisdom, and let us not allow them to call on us, but we should be calling on them time and time again and draw from this wealth of wisdom. I would also want to say that this presents a challenge to us in a way, because being the younger cohort, sometimes there's a proverb say that what a young man cannot see whilst climbing a tree, while what the older man can see while seated, a young man cannot see while climbing a tree. That therefore says we must be able to judge our thoughts, our decisions, think through them so that we do not run too fast and break, but also be able to do whatever we do with a lot of diligence. Looking forward, the Uganda chapter continues to aspire for vibrancy, especially that we have one of the founding members in our country. We want to leverage on its networks. We also want to use that to inspire the young ones. As a final thought, I kept asking myself, I do not know how it is in other countries of East Africa, but the trend has been soil scientists are so few. For the most part, especially like in a country like Uganda, we actually know all of ourselves. Yet breeders, socioeconomists, they are innumerable. Can we use this opportunity to hold the hands of so many other people to join the society? Maybe we need to think differently and inspire them differently. I cannot forget the day we were in my university first degree course. Over 80 students started the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. In Makerere University, fourth year, you have to specialize. Only 4 of us decided to go for soil science as an option. It was a very small percentage. That had to change. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's therefore my pleasure to have been able to represent Uganda in this meeting. But before I sit down, I want to just take the honor to ask the 2 or 3 other Ugandans who are in this meeting, who may not exactly be executive members, but they're members from Uganda to stand up and wave so that we can be able to recognize you. At least I know there are 3 of you who are here right now. Yeah. Thank you so much. With that, I want to give it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President, Soil Science Society of East Africa, Ugandan chapter. Mr. Guest of Honor, if you would like, on your permission, may I request him to read a speech of this, the remaining founder of the society, who is very old now, who was about to come, but he couldn't manage. You can go first for this speech.
It's therefore my honor to present the speech on behalf of Julius Zakei, founding member of the Soil Science Society of East Africa in 1974, well before I was born. I am gratified to participate in the inauguration of the 50 years anniversary of the Soil Science Society of East Africa. I have not attended several past meetings since I retired from Makerere University. Therefore, I want to thank members of Uganda branch of the society who have enabled me to attend this celebration. Let us remember members who are no longer with us, who are no longer with us here for the present 50 years, who were present for the last 50 years by way of a silence to remember their absence. May we bow down just for a few seconds. May their souls rest eternal peace. When we inaugurated SSEA in 1974, soils were considered to be very important. That is why participants from Uganda could also participate in spite of the difficult years of President Idi Amin. We could always move to either Tanzania or Kenya for the annual conferences. Because of the importance of soils then, African Soil Science Society was inaugurated in 1988 in Kampala, Uganda. At this function, the president of the country was the guest of honor and several soil scientists from all over Africa attended. Another highlight of this period was the Fertilizer Summit in Abuja, Nigeria in 2005, when the African heads of state declared all Africa countries should use at least 50 kilograms per acre of NPK per year by the year 2015, that is within 10 years. Soil scientists expected this soil concern to continue since in Uganda, the president invited me to his farm to test soil status. In the same way, the president, the vice president, and many other Ugandan officials, including the Kabaka of Uganda, had their soils tested. At that time, also, we raised the idea of the formation of a Uganda Soil Institute to take care of soil issues in Uganda. Unfortunately, soil concerns dwindled over time to the extent that after 10 years since the Fertilizer Summit, leaders no longer inquire about their declaration. The African Soil Science Society has not surfaced much. Ugandan use of fertilizers never changed much from average use of only 2 kilograms, of around about 2 kilograms of NPK per acre per year, and the Ugandan Soil Institute issue stalled until 2024 when it was finally instituted. In fact, up to now, there is no observable improvement in crop yield arising from soil management. As one moves from any road in Uganda and looks at the crops, they appear stunted and yellowish, much worse than they appeared in 1974. Presently, any improvement in crop yield is attributed to new crops and not from soil management. It is therefore important that we try to find out what has caused soils to be degraded, less important, and also why SSEA has been less effective. It is therefore important that we try to find out what has caused soils. Sorry for that repetition. The first point to identify impacts in any, if any, made by SSEA when it was effective. It is true that in the past soils were considered in terms of raising plants, whereby fertilizers had to apply a major role. But fertilizers have been considered as a major culprit of damaging the soil. Therefore, some ideas are no longer wanted, some areas no longer want to consume crops where fertilizers were used. There is much concern presently on global warming and climate change, whereby soil management is supposed to play a major role, either positively or negatively. Research trials have not been much visible to many stakeholders, the farmers. They are usually placed at research stations where farmers and administrators do not frequent. Research results and papers on soils have not been focusing on the major stakeholders, especially the terminology used all aim at fellow scientists. Research issues usually arise from other papers and are usually theoretical. Many soils issues are long-term, which may not entail short-term degree-focused research. Therefore, the Soil Science Society of East Africa should come up with a new approach. Soil research issues should mostly arise from or involve the major stakeholders, and there should be frequent interactions between researchers and these stakeholders. These research trials should be where farmers frequent and well labeled to indicate what is being solved. Any soil research should indicate its impact on climate change and global warming. That is, soil health should be a major target in soil management. The terminology used in presenting research results should be understandable to the farmers and administrators, not only researchers. In conclusion, in all these social workers should be involved, since they are able to communicate to farmers better. Finally, let us clearly indicate the impacts that can be made toward national development by promoting Soil Science Society of East Africa toward poverty alleviation through improved agricultural productivity, global warming, and environmental improvement. This has been presented by Professor Julius Zake. I thank you.
Stand here. Yes, thank you very much for that wonderful speech from the great people who did quite a lot for this society. And based on that, now I would like again to call Chairman of the Organizing Committee to continue with recognition of this founder member, Professor Zake, and his colleagues, and all the fights they had to fight to make this society happen. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Really, we are delighted even to hear those words from this prominent professor from Uganda. He never left Uganda. All the regimes, that's what I learned from that exam. And I had an opportunity to meet him in several occasions. And please, we as a society, we are honoring him with this certificate of honorary membership. Tell him that we love him, we remember him, and we are praying for him to celebrate another 50 years of this society. While they take you breakfast, let him look at that trophy and remember the if they are here, in Uganda we have also historical members, and we have also selected a few to remember their contributions to the society. And we have Professor John Stephen Tenure. We have Charles Nkwine. He's conveying my greetings to him. He's a great friend of mine. We have Joy Tumuhaire. Also, I know this lady. We have Dr. Matthias Magunda. Yes, this mzee is very strong mzee in soil physics. We have Professor Matete Bekunda. He has done a lot of fertilizer in the region, recommendations, developing fertilizer recommendation in the region. Mr. Clement Sali. And Dr. Mary Waikara Silva, remember this is one of the former presidents.
Thank you very much, Chairman of the Organizing Committee. Now we are running very fast. We have the new, I can say new if I'm not mistaken, the Soil Science Society of East African South Sudanese chapter. So, Chairman, please, you can speak for this.
Yeah, we have a new chapter in Southern Sudan, and the representatives was here. For those who joined us in the field excursion yesterday, they noted that he was faced with slightly some healthy challenges, but he was able, and we were able to contain it over the day. We brought him in the evening to our health center here, Mwenje Catholic University Health Center. He was very well attended, and we stayed with him there almost up to 9 o'clock in the evening. He was doing very well. This morning, our colleagues who went there, he was improving very quickly, really. He was healthy. He looked healthy and energetic. The doctors said that he must be there for a couple of hours to complete the medication that was prescribed to him. So I present his regards here, and let's pray for him for quick recovery. Thank you so much.
Having said so, we would like also to continue now with the last chapter. This will be the remarks from the chairperson of the Soil Science Society of East Africa. He will also introduce one of the historical members to give a speech. Welcome.
I'm glad that we have reached at this stage where now we shall present the Tanzanian chapter. As I said, in a few minutes to come, we are going to officiate our new leadership in Tanzania. Let me remind the Tanzanians who are here. The benefits of the society are many. The presidents who have spoken here, they have told many things, have shared many things with us. But one thing I remember, when I completed my PhD in 2003, I was a little bit senior. And in 2004, there was a call for project proposal. It was Lake Victoria Initiative, and we were supposed to form a consortium of East African soil scientists. And I applied for that call, and I was shortlisted. We were shortlisted in 95 applicants. But we were supposed to go to Nairobi, to JAKUAT, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture, Science and Technology, to develop full proposals. And we were supposed to go with laptops. I didn't have a laptop. And I requested my colleagues to give me a laptop, but they didn't. So I boarded the Akamba bus without a laptop, and I arrived at Jomo Kenyatta JAKUAT at midnight. And in the morning, we were in the conference hall writing the proposals, but I didn't have a laptop. And the organizer said that if you don't have a laptop, just stay here, enjoy. And my consortium, a colleague of mine whom I had emailed,
about the proposal was Professor Moses Zabiri now was a PhD student at KU Leuven by that time, and he was in Belgium. So I mailed it to him. I requested a friend of mine there. He allowed me access to his laptop. I mailed it to him. I say, I'm here in Jakarta, but I don't have a laptop, and I'm not doing anything. So he called Semalulu from Naro. He directed him to come to Jakarta immediately with a laptop. And he told him that go there, you will find a man there who looks like this. Listen to him, what he's going to tell you to do. So on Wednesday, while we were left with the 2 days, Semalulu came from Naro in Uganda with a laptop. He's a soil fertility, but what we were going to write was soil engineering, land use, and so on. And then I had to teach him first for 6 hours about the topic. It took us up to somewhere 9 o'clock in the night, and then we started working that night until Thursday morning, and we had a draft proposal. So on Friday, we appeared before the panel presenting our proposal. And I was just coming from the PhD. It was a European Union project, and I had applied for $150,000 US dollars. Out of 95 proposals, 21 were funded, including mine. So Uganda had its share, Kenya, Kefri had its share, and me as a young researcher, I had my 80,000 US dollars at Sokoine, and I started researching. Semalulu, when he went back to Uganda, he said that, yeah, I have never seen a man like this one. So there was a call under Sareka which required a consortium, and he wrote to me. He said, look at this proposal. If you agree, then you are a member of that consortium. I emailed it straight, yeah, proposal is very good, I agree. It was a proposal of 500,000 euros. And my share was 160,000 euros. And he submitted that proposal. It was also a European Union project. So we also won that proposal. So in 1 year, I had a project of 80,000 euro and 8,000 US dollars and 106,000 euros at Sokoine University of Agriculture, just coming from the PhD. And that is what is the opening door for Professor Dekas to say, if you are a great man like this, and you are able to catch 2 fundable research projects in a year, then I'm inviting you to apply for a fundable research project which called by Vlery was in Belgium. So those projects from the East African region, from this networking, from what we are sitting here together, gave me a doorway to start again winning the project proposals from Vlery was in Belgium, and gave doorway to even winning research project proposals. USAID, I was saying that I worked with Professor Lan. So my young people who you are sitting here, these speeches we are delivering here is not speeches just to make us happy. This, we are opening doors. We are opening doors for our future and the future of our institutions. Why I'm saying this? In Tanzania, we have some founders who were called by Professor A.P. Urio that time and worked with him in building the society in Tanzania. And we have 4 of them who are still alive. And I started by those remarks so that the young people who are here, they know how long we have been going to reach at this stage we are now. And we have one mzee here. We have one mzee here from Sokoine University of Agriculture who knows those founders much better than I do. So I will invite him to come and speak briefly about them so that we can also recognize them on behalf of the society. Professor Philbert Ruhubiza, please, can you come forward? And he is the former secretary of the Soil Science Society of East Africa, and even treasurer, right? Yes, he has been rotating in all those positions. Karibu mzee.
Asante. Thank you. The guest of honor, the organizing committee. Well, my name has already been introduced to you. I am Philbert, professor, social science, physicist. I was at Sokoine University of Agriculture for more than 40 years. I started, was employed actually by the University of Dar es Salaam. By that time, when I completed my first degree. Therefore, when I joined, we were the first batch of students, actually the highest number of students at the university at that time in agriculture. So, and there were no students specializing in soil science for the past 5 years before we arrived there. So when those specializing were less than 5, there were no specialization that would not be carried out. So when my team, we were 5 who took soil science. And we found quite a good number of those scientists who are just in the list. We had Professor Semoka. Semoka is retired, but is in Morogoro. We had Professor Sumari, but he's late. We had Professor Msaki, passed away, unfortunately last year. Professor Kirasala, okay. Professor Mrema, and Professor Sem, okay. All those were just soil scientists. I joined them at that time, okay. When I joined them, actually when I joined the department, they were not professors yet. But because of publications, what have you, they became professors. Okay, they published a lot. Some of them, unfortunately at that time, the heads of departments across the university were foreigners. Because even in soil science, it was an Indian professor who was head of department, Professor Urio, who was the founder in the soil science of South Africa, had just left. Okay? So the Soil Science Society, I remember whenever there was a conference, we were being actually funded. There was a fund within the university take us to the conference, whether in Uganda, Kenya, and within Tanzania. So the society was nurtured. But even during the time when coordination between the East African was weak, okay? Within the university, we had annual conferences where we are publishing these papers, presenting these papers, soil papers. And soil science strengthened, and actually, many people started joining the OPCA, there, and others, a bunch of them, okay? They are now actually maintaining the discipline of just being specialized soil scientists. Okay, remarks, I think I shouldn't take too much of your time, but maybe to encourage those young people to maintain that spirit of strengthening the soil science society in our country. Okay, I remember, I'd almost forgotten you. For example, you took your PhD in your department. I remember. Yes, sir. Because of course, over time I just forgotten. But after looking at you very closely, I realized that you attended your PhD in our department. Okay. Therefore, with those few remarks, to thank you all and to request you to strengthen the collaboration between our East African countries and within the institutions within in our country, so that the soil science, the knowledge is shared. Because if you acquire knowledge because from your research and you keep it in your pocket, in your papers that are published elsewhere, it is not shared with, for example, the end users, then it is useless. Okay? The knowledge should be shared. Okay, maybe using leaflets or from field schools and what have you, so that the knowledge to be useless, of course, for someone to maybe to be promoted because he or she has published a lot. That is okay, but the knowledge, if it is not transmitted to the farmer to be used in to enhance agricultural production, then that is useless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Rumbizo, for a very nice speech. Soil physics. Once, when I was discussing with Professor Carl this year in Germany, I told, yes, at MWECAU now we have the soil physics. He says, what? I said, yes, I would like to meet him. So, Professor Carl, this is Professor Rumbizo, a soil physicist. We'll have time to share quite a lot. Now, I would like to call upon the chairman of the organizing committee now to proceed by recognizing those founder members from the Tanzanian chapter and also the historical members.
So we are now recognizing the Tanzanian members who were founder of the society. And the one thing which we learned from them, Professor Rumbizo just said, the Department of Soil Science was one of the most serious departments at the Sokoine University of Agriculture. There were no leakage of exam. Every student was scoring what was right to his or her. And that mentoring which you see, most of the students who were produced from that department, either they are director general or center director or national lead scientist, or they are all in Kabanza. Are you there? Yeah, it's the center. Can you say that? It's the center director. Is the our president-elect is the center director. Mwango is the lead, national lead soil scientist in the country, is leading the whole soil in the country. So please, Bwana is the director general who came here. So is we really recognize these founders. They had they were very principal here. So we recognize Dr. Alphonse J. Sharongowi, was one of the founders, atatusaidia kupokea. Ni mzee kabisa, tusaidie kuhakikisha zimefika Morogoro. We recognize Professor Dr. Jerome P. Mrema. Ni wazee kabisa hawa sasa. We recognize Professor Dr. Johnson Sevoka. Hawa ni wazee waliokuwepo kabisa. And the Professor Dr. Ernest Sem. Naomba tuhakikishie ukuu wa umefika. Bado tuna hii ni ya nani?
Someone to help Professor Rombiza, Ms. Leticia, people from Tanzanian chapter, you can help
We have also historical members. We have also historical members, and because some of them may not be here. For those who are coming from Sokoine, you will take Mwando, probably you also come here. If you hear the name from Tari, so that you help us to make sure that they get their certificate of Hana. We have Dr. George Lee. George Lee, that is yours, yeah? Yeah, please, you receive what on his behalf. P. Magogo, this one also, I think, that one. We have Dr. Jeremiah Sumogo. Yes. He has been at the National Soil Services, the National Soil Coordinator. So we have Dr. Abel Kaya. We have Dr. Peter Mtakwa. We have Professor Method Filasada. We have Professor Baltazar Msania for hii pokea hii. We have Mr. F.S. Kaigura. So, please make sure that he receives that certificate. We have Professor Ernest Marwa, who was our treasurer. So, Professor Idiagoyi. That's one for Singapore. And finally, we have Professor Philibert Rubis. So this is our historical members. Professor.
Thank you very much, Chair, President of the Soil Science Society of East Africa, current President, who is now preparing to step out. Now, are we still alive? Can you stretch our hands, please? Pole sana. We are almost there. Now, after saying so, Prof, I would like now to give this opportunity to finish this, so we don't want Mr. Guest of Honor again to keep on standing up. So to award all the participants here the certificates of attending this conference, because you have been tremendous in sharing the networks, in giving your ideas and all the efforts that have been presented. So at this juncture, everyone shall receive a certificate of participation from Guest of Honor. And then all the organizing committee, please be prepared, because we want to introduce you in front of the delegates. And then we shall be heading to Chief Rapporteur, Dr. Anthony Slaba will be prepared to give a 5 minutes summary after all. So very quickly, I will read the certificates, and then we will pass by so that Mr. Guest of Honor will award our participants. I will start with the Director General of TARI, Dr. Thomas Nestori Bwana. I will jump to Dr. Abdallah Ibrahim Hali, who was our guest of honor, but also Director of Zalili. Anyone who was from Zalili? Godson Rasa. I will go randomly. Godson Rasa. Be prepared to move very quickly because we are running out of time. Godson Rasa. Ivan S. Adolo. Ivan S. Adolo. Ivan S. Adolo. Dr. Alfred Michen, be prepared. Dr. Alfred Michen. Dr. Kainon Savala, be prepared. Dr. Kainon Savala. Dr. Kainon Savala. If Savala is not around, Dr. Kainon Savala, who can pick for Savala? Savala, thank you very much. Then Diapodi. Dr. Andrew Kavanza. And then Brian Sakwa. Brian Sakwa. Abdallah Aramakale, please. Bryson Im Janja, be prepared. Bryson Im Janja. Bryson Im Janja. That's it. Bryson Im Janja. Simon Macharis. He's also Simon Macha. He's Macha from Mokom. Simon Macha. I think this Macharis was just a misspelling with Simon Macha. Sister Agostina Magunga. Asante sana Mzee Silaba. Thank you very much for your very active member. Deodatus Eskiriba. Our news here. Michael Alois Ngowi. While Angela Damu, she's coming. Angela Damu. Joseph Muthamia, please. Joseph Muthamia, Elizabeth Joseph Olambo, someone who knows can pick for him. Elizabeth Joseph Olambo. Athman Kasim Tolela, that one is that one. Athman Kasim Tolela. Dr. Sibawi Mwango, you can still remain. Sibawi Mwango. Dr. Dev Nyengesa. While Kanyesige Tony Tonei. Asante sana mzee. It's been a very... Yes, thank you very much. Asante sana mzee. Litram Samson Mkapa. We shall recast it. And then we shall recast that. Litram Samson Mkapa. Eunice Minyata, Dr. Mgeta Stephen Merumba is guest of director also here, our new president of the Soil Science Society of Africa. Thank you for attending. Noel Makete, please. Noel Makete. Joyce Ada Omwakwe. Professor Henry Lasoy, please, you can move forward. Joyce Omakwe, who can pick for her? She's here, okay. So Omakwe. Right, Dr. Steph Hazen. Dr. Steph Hazen. Thank you very much. Professor Henry Laswai, then we have Dr. Steph Hazen. Dr. Mary Kwesh. Dr. Mary Kwesh. Dr. Mary Kwesh. Thank you very much. She has been very instrumental, very active mama, one of the very active persons. Professor Philibert Rumbiza. Philibert Rumbiza. Philibert Rumbiza, while Dr. Kezia Ndungu Magiroi. Kezia Ndungu Magiroi. Mr. Julius Pages. Julius Pages. Mr. Julius Pages. Dr. Anderson Kipkoesh. Dr. Anderson Kipkoesh. Dr. Anderson Kipkoesh. This is Julius Pages, Biochar, Mr. Biochar. We have Father Anthony Tay. Father Anthony Tay. Father Anthony Tay. While Isaiah Mwale is moving forward. Mr. Atanas Singambi. Mr. Atanas Singambi. Who will pick for Mr. Atanas Singambi? Mr. Atanas Singambi. Mr. Atanas Singambi. Anyone from WECAU? Yes, she's coming. Mr. Atanas Singambi? No. We can pick also for Mr. Atanas Singambi. Father Reverend Eugene Liamtane, that one goes to the big office. Madam Estayona, Madam Estayona, okay. Estayona. Konshumata, please come to pick for Estayona. Reverend Advocate Laurent Lukubo. If he's not around, Father, then we can come to pick for Professor, yes, okay. Professor Aswai will pick for, okay, Professor Aswai. Also, Advocate Janet Alphonse, Professor Aswai will also pick Sister Marcelina Ngoi. Sister Marcelina Ngoi. While Miss Graciana Swai, Miss Graciana Swai. This has traveled all the way from Lushoto. Thank you very much. She has been very instrumental since Live Link project. This was the lady that she was helping me to identify the vulnerable groups in Dosambara. It was very difficult, but she used her trick to make sure she got all. Samuel Joseph. Anyone to pick for Samuel Joseph? Ah, he's here. Okay, so he is our media group. Guy Konshumata Msese. Gladson Esmaila. Helena James Charo. Gladson Esmaila. Helena James Charo. Oforo Minja. Really watching you. Wilson Kaviche. Mama Matilda Pinjao. Wilson Kaviche. Mama Matilda Pinjao. Dr. Dennis Elibariki Mawala. Please. Dr. Dennis Elibariki Mawala. Ananjao first, and then Dr. Elimboto Muna. If you are here, please. Elimboto Muna, who can pick for him? Dr. Abdallah Makaranga. Elimboto Muna is here. Thank you very much. Dr. Abdallah Makaranga, Elimosaria K. Macha. Elimosaria K. Macha and Julius Macha. Elimosaria K. Macha, Julius Macha also. Emmanuel Anedo. Emmanuel Anedo. Elimosaria K. Macha, Julius Macha, and then Emmanuel Anedo. Emmanuel Anedo. Patrick Gichero. Patrick Gichero. Dr. Patrick Gichero. Dr. Patrick Gichero. Sante Sanamze for we fought a good fight. These will be the next founding members. Alfan Shabani Machemba. Alfan Shabani Machemba. And then Dr. Duba Golisha Deputy. This is the president of SSSEA Kenyan chapter. Dr. Duba Golisha Deputy. Dr. Emmanuel Odama. Dr. Emmanuel Odama is with us on the front seat. Dr. Emmanuel Odama. Alfan Awadin Tour. Alfan Awadin Tour. Alfan Awadin Tour. Dr. Jeremiah Okeyo. Dr. Jeremiah Okeyo. Dr. Jeremiah Okeyo. Alfan Awadin Tour. Okay, he's here. Thank you very much. Dr. Jeremiah Okeyo. Simon Elignoni. Simon Elignoni. Dr. Ursula Weiss. Dr. Ursula Weiss from TU Dresden, Germany. Sante Sana Mama, Mama Future. Professor Dr. Karen van Kampenhout. Professor Dr. Karen van Kampenhout. Professor Dr. Karl-Heinz Feger. Professor Dr. Karl-Heinz Feger. Agnes Chepkorir. Agnes Chepkorir. Agnes Chepkorir, she's here, yes. Agnes Chepkorir. Dr. Emmanuel Opolot. Dr. Emmanuel Opolot. Dr. Emmanuel Opolot, someone will pick for Thomas Eliza. Thomas Eliza. Felix Materi. Felix Materi. Felix Materi. Michael Kinyua. Michael Kinyua, please. Esther Muindi. Esther Muindi. Esther Muindi, she is also here. Dr. John J. Tenga. Dr. John J. Tenga. Frederick Crispin Mlowe. Then Esther Muindi. Then Dr. J. Tenga, and then we have Frederick Crispin Mlowe. Frederick Crispin Mlowe. Frederick Crispin Mlowe. Frederick Crispin Mlowe. Watson Guido Matamwa. Watson Matamwa. Dr. Bahia Abdi. Dr. Bahia Abdi, I saw her, she was here. Konshumata, you can come forward, please. Dr. Bahia Abdi. Mr. Focus Kabuzi. Where are the members of organizing committee? Mr. Focus Kabuzi, Miss Leticia Kalumbilo, Sister Patricia Kiju, Sister Patricia Kiju, Leticia first and then Sister Patricia Kiju, Dr. Kilian Minja, Dr. Kilian Minja, Dr. Ghislaine Witonze. Yes, I am prophesizing for her because she's the next now. Mordecai Mkiza. Mordecai Mkiza. Denise Besiga. Denise Besiga Mukama. Pio Kurden. This is our colleague from South Sudan, Pio Kurden. Pio Kurden, we shall take it to him. Pio Kurden. Pio Kurden. Kao Sarale. Kao Sarale. Kao Sarale. Kau Sarale.
Sarale.
Sarale. Sarale, who can pick for Sarale?
Who can pick for Sarale? Is it Kenya and Uganda?
Kau Sarale. Okay. And the last one is for me and you, Mzee. You start first, then? Oh, me first. And then first. Okay. Yes, having said so, thank you. Actually, we have stretched up our bodies. Now let us wind up our timetable. I would like to call upon members of the organizing committee. Please, can you jump forward very quickly so that we can applause, hands for you for tireless effort in preparing these conferences until today. We are finalizing. Dr. Minja, please, with your team, jump forward. All the members of the organizing committee, please, very quickly move forward. Conference, particularly with our colleague, of course, from Kenya, that we were sharing ideas of how we can make this thing happen. We have our chairman, Professor Kimaro, who is in front with us. We have the secretary, Dr. Minja, and the colleagues. So please, I would like you to appreciate for what they've done to this day. And guys, please let us clap hand for this team. Thank you very much. Because of time, we shall not go again mentioning your name, but we really appreciate your work. Asante sana. For anyone that we have misspelled of writing his or her name, we apologize for that, because it was very much pressured, but we would like to promise you that we will recast your name as the way it is indicated. Most of you, we passed the form so that you can put the signature, but very unfortunately, there are still some errors. But we would like to apologize for that. And the others, the rest who also didn't get the certificate, please notify us. Maybe the day that we passed the form, you are not around, then we shall issue the certificate for you. At this juncture, I would like now to move to the next agenda. Now I would like to call Chief Rapporteur, Dr. Anthony Silaba, to give us the resolution of this conference before we finalize our session with Mr. Gestefano. Yes, because it's, yes, please come forward so that everyone would like to hear from you.
I'll give the guidelines on what we expect in what we'll call, I'll call it the communique from the 6th MWECAU and 30th Soil Science Society of East Africa conference. It's very brief, it's 3 pages. I did it and then it disappeared, so I don't want to show it because it's got a lot of what you call track change. Basically, I'll give you guidelines, and some of you still have to give me this information. I'm still getting it. For example, how many participants were here? It looks like about 100. And from which countries? Those are the details. So we'll go into those details. So we start by simply introducing the MWECAU as the host of this conference, the Mwenge Catholic University, and the Soil Science Society of East Africa held their 6th and 30th Joint International Conference in Moshi, Tanzania from 29th September to October 3rd. We all know that. All this is in our documents, but I'm reminding you that. The Mwenge Catholic University is a university. The details, we'll put that in the communique. Then the Soil Science Society, we've repeated many times, was founded in 1974. It's a non-profit, non-political, we've said all this, but that's part of the communique. Organization that draws membership from individuals, soil scientists, agronomists, socioeconomists, and corporate organizations for purposes of advocating, raising awareness, and coordinating pragmatic actions on soils as a vital resource for achieving sustainable development. It draws membership from East Africa community member countries of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. Lately, South Sudan has joined us. In the proposed African Action Plan, we have also Burundi, Rwanda, and DRC Congo. So I'm giving you, South Sudan, Dr. Pierre was very quick to respond. The others, because of language problems, may take time. French speaking, you can see that. Yeah, so we appreciate the Sudanese for being very eager to join. Thank you for that, although he's sick. Then the conference was opened, you all here, by representatives from the university, from the Tanzania government. That's part of the communique. There are about over 100 participants. Then the themes, the main theme is on your documents. I don't want to repeat that. Then there are sub-themes. We quote them again. And then I won't read them out because that's part of the document. Now, what we presented here is still coming to me in terms of session rapporteur reports. I haven't had time to digest, but we shall digest them and input in the communique what we think is relevant. Otherwise, I'll give you a template. It provides up-to-date information which was shared among participants and the media. I hope the media was here. Yes, including radio and television. Good, so you see we are correct. It will be published in proceedings, books, pamphlets, leaflets, special issues of international journals. The outputs from this will contribute towards informing the AU, the Tanzanian government, or policymakers, whatever we decide. We still have to agree on all those. Now, in recognizing and reaffirming the expertise and commitment of its members, the Soil Science Society are ready to support widespread dissemination and use of knowledge from research and from experiences of projects dealing with sustainable land management. My colleagues from Dresden and Belgium, if I miss out on what your purpose of being here, please feed us with that so that we input here. You know, I didn't have time to synthesize that. Yeah. So for this purpose, I'm more talking about African soil scientists, but I know you have your input also in this. For this purpose, African soil scientists call for political support and for significant increases in investments to result in increased productivity and preservation of soil resources. In particular, by increasing investments in natural resources will be an expression of an important political willingness of African states, which may help catalyze contributions from development partners, agencies, and the international community. We can also improve on that. It's also important or paramount that the role of soils and soil science in ensuring food security and providing other key ecosystem services are given appropriate recognition. We realize very few people study soil science in the university. Somebody mentioned that, like Makerere. Even during my time, interesting enough, all the Makerere founding members were my supervisors and colleagues, including Professor Zaki, Professor Zali, and the other Sally, who was also a founding member. I didn't know he's still alive. He's still alive. I've met him. Yeah, thank you. It's paramount the role of soil. Okay, I've done that. So we need to engage the members and other relevant national institutions into generating, improving, and disseminating quality soil data for supporting actions and policies particularly with regard to sustainable land management. We can add a bit of what needs to come from other collaborators. We need to strengthen the role of land and water management and soil quality preservation in national policies and development plans. Explore possibility of scaling climate-smart agriculture practices, that is obvious, and engage focused stakeholders, farmers, in which issue on how best for soil research can be passed on to them and discussed. This is a template. We need to adapt it. Yes? So if I'm missing out anything, please give us a feedback to the Secretariat and we shall include it. I had only 2 hours to go through this. I did it. Then I have templates, my own templates. So I'm giving you my templates. Now, during this session, we had this. You presented all the new committee members. We need to listen to indicate they were here. Okay? We now appreciate the support of the various donors, the various stakeholders involved in this. There's a whole list that includes Billy Ross. Billy Ross is from Belgium. What does it stand for? Yes. Then the Germans, then all that, the Tanzanian government, Tari has been heavily involved in this. So we need to appreciate that. What else? Then finally, we can say that we are convinced that through better knowledge of soil function and sustainable use of lands at national, continental levels, soils and soil science will contribute towards sustainable development and food security. This is a template. Give us your feedback. We haven't synthesized. That's why I didn't even want to present it. But I hope you appreciate that we are heading somewhere. Thank you.
Right, just a quick summary numbers. Total number of participants who were registered, 93. 93. Total number of participants who were registered, 93. Papers which were presented, 62. Keynote presentation, 3. Poster presentation, 1. Participation in excursion. Excursion route 1, 35 participants. Excursion route 2, 25 participants has been registered. And total number of 10 smallholder farmers participated in this conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary of the Organizing Committee, Dr. Minja, for that data. Yeah, now we shall update, as Dr. Silaba mentioned, to our template. Yeah, without spending much time now, we are going to enter in a session of, as we know, the current president of Soil Science Society of East Africa, Tanzanian chapter, is now reaching to an end. Last week, we had an election, and we have the new regime that will lead this triennium. And in front of us also, we have the president-elect. But before we bring on board, I would like to call upon again Mr. Gestofana to appreciate this president who is now going for retirement. He did a great job. I witnessed him when he was getting into power since 2013. He mobilized quite a lot of resources, and he had a success, particularly in 2015. He was able to mobilize people, our colleagues from International Union of Soil Science. By then, I remember Professor Erika Michel was leading a chapter in IUSS, and brought also people from Japanese Soil Science Society of East Africa, from United States, and also the Ministry of Agriculture. It was one also of the best successful conference we had in 2015. And leading excursion to the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, where we have the cradle of mankind. And then we celebrated our Soil of the Year, International Soil of the Year there. So since then, he kept on participating in other conferences, particularly in 2022. He also made a very nice conference also in Kenya. I remember I presented this in International Union of Soil Science in Italy. And now, I would like also to congratulate him for organizing and leading now. We have this 50th Jubilee celebration of Soil Science Society of East Africa. Thank you very much for your effort. Dr. Mwango, who is the current secretary, please may you come forward so that you present a certificate to our guest of honor, so that we are saying thank you to this president. And also, I would like to read Soil Science Society of East Africa Golden Jubilee International Scientific Conference, Certificate for Outgoing President of the Society. This certificate is solemnly and proudly presented to Professor Dr. Didas Kimaro, President of SSSEA 2013 to 2025, in recognition of his outstanding and diligent service, visionary leadership, and unwavering dedication as the President of the Society. Through his stewardship, SSSEA has advanced in promoting soil science in the country, land stewardship, and sustainable development across East Africa and beyond. As he steps down from the presidency, the Society gratefully acknowledges his immense contributions and with deep appreciation confers upon him the honorable status of patron and honorary member of the Soil Science Society of East Africa. This is awarded in this date of 2nd of October 2025 at Moshi, Kilimanjaro, Tanzania, and it has been signed by the new President-elect, Dr. Geta Stephen Merumba, and the Secretary General of SSSEA, Dr. Sibawe Mwango, celebrating 50 years of soil science excellence in East Africa, 1974 to 2024. May I now give you to present to guest of honor to share this award with Professor Didas Kimaro. Organizing committee, please, can you bring the cake in front, the soil cake in front? Please, very quickly. Esther, Sister Kijo, Sister Ghislaine. Yeah, you can present. Yes, we can present.
Before leaving, I call upon Mr. Ghislaine to bring a piece of soil cake that is a symbol of outgoing power and the incoming power of this society. So, Mr. Guest of Honor, you will also present this. President and the outgoing president will cut this piece of cake after the speech of the new president. That is the cake of the 50th of the Golden Jubilee. Can we eat that? Maybe before. Oh. It has a logo. It has a logo. It has a logo of the Soil Science Society of East Africa, 50 years celebration. We can prepare a nice table there after the speech of the new president and we had it. So, Mr. Guest of Honor, please, you can have your seat. And we have the new structure of the Soil Science Society of East Africa. And as you can see, we have projected them on the slide. We have the president, we have the secretary,
We have the treasurer, and now also as the way Ugandan they have adopted, if I'm not mistaken, the Kenya. Yes, the started from, oh, okay, yes, oh, that's really good, nice. Yeah, publicity and social welfare. This is a new thing. As you can see, the And then we have the executive members. And if I go down, executive members, they are quite a lot. Thank you very much. Okay, good. Because okay, yes, yeah, there's an error somewhere here. This is Mr. Gilead. I think there was some error here. Yeah, Dr. Gilead Minja, yes. Thank you very much. So as we are waiting for guest of honor, I would like to preparing our new president to move forward now, to come on board, to say something, and then later on he will give his remarks, and then he will also hand over and welcome our guest of honor to officiate the closing of our conference. And then we shall receive a word of prayer and the blessing, and then we shall be called upon the end of our conference. Thank you very much. Maybe the DJ, yes. Just a second for our guest of honor. Maybe a DJ, you can continue aliving us. Thank you.
Holy Sons, South of West Africa, oh yeah!
Your Excellency, guest of honor, Your Excellency, the former President of SSSEA Tanzania chapter, Professor Kimaro, Your Excellency, my fellow President from Uganda and Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Aswani. My name is Mgeta Steve Merumba. I'm a soil scientist. I'm a real soil scientist from BSc to PhD. And I have 0 grades D at SUA. From BSc to PhD. Currently, I'm director of Tali Mulingano. I think tomorrow, for those who will be lucky when there, you'll see the center. So I'm very glad to stand before you, my colleague from East Africa and the representative from Germany and Belgium. But I am overwhelmed to stand before 3 professors. And please stand, Professor Denis Kimaro, stand up, Professor Aswai, stand up, Professor Mbiza, stand up. Actually, I'm pleased to stand before these professors because are the one who nursed me during those days. Thank you a lot. So what I can say, Your Excellency, guest of honor, actually I'm grateful actually for WECAU as our leader to actually to organize this fruitful meeting. Specifically to organizers committee for the effort they made, and we've seen what happened for these 4 days when we were here. Maybe we should clap for them. On behalf of the Tanzania chapter, I thank my colleague who actually elected me to be their president. I don't know which criteria they used to select me to be their president, They know themselves, but myself, I don't know up to this moment. For that being the case, therefore, I have debt for them. Actually, I should actually, because they believed on me, and I have to make sure that their beliefs actually excel. And what I can say, I will try my best to synthesize their beliefs into action. Thank you very much, Olikonigi. Actually, as a project leader this year, our leadership in Tanzania chapter, me as a chairperson, Dr. Mango is my secretary. There is Tajala Kiriba. Where are you, Kiriba? Stand up. I think there. And actually, they didn't attend, but the rest is there. This year, our leadership in Tanzania chapter from this year to 2028. But my sincere appreciation should go to the outgoing president, Professor Deskimar. Thank you very much. We have read us, I think 10 years. It's not a joke. So we, Tanzania, we give all belief to Professor, and he had made OT actually from the beginning, and now we are actually somewhere where we as a new leadership, we can take and move forward. Based on his speech, that he wants this organization to excel in Tanzania. Prof, I promise, I use my best actually to make this organization to excel, but don't close your door. Don't close your door. We'll bring your experience, actually your advice, will actually, what I'm saying, you are still our leader, because we now and then come to you for advice. Don't close your door, please. From this gathering over 4 days, I have more to say, but 4 things I've noted. And I think that is the key message we should go out of this conference. And these were highlighted by our guest, the guest of honor, Dr. Ibrahim, the DG of TARI, of Zariri, together with my DG, Dr. Nestor Bwana. They said that this conference should make that we strengthen collaboration. We strengthen collaboration. Without strengthening collaboration, this gathering is nothing. So I urge you, my fellow, let us strengthen collaboration. Collaboration will help us actually to disseminate the technology that we are searching on to end user, which are farmers. But also, another key point is that data sharing. So we as East African, there are other organizations like German. They have 100 years. So we can borrow from them and take experience from them so that our society can prosper as the German social state of German. You see, to them they have 100 years, and we are half of them. So we should know how made them to be there. So also we will come to you. We come to you. Actually, you can lead us where to go. Thank you very much. Even like from Belgium. Actually, we have to strengthen collaboration so that this East Africa conference should also go higher as the one from Belgium. Another thing is that let us actually our scientific finding go based on farmer perspective. There's nothing we sit as a scientist. We write papers, we write whatever, but our farmer cannot get what we're finding into usable way. And remember, I think it is my sister from Usangwe, don't know this. He said when the farmer, that they want our research finding to go to them so that they can use actually to get something. Remember my DGO said yesterday, not yesterday, before yesterday, that who is scientist? What have you made to make a farmer to use our findings so that they can get income? That is the big thing. And we scientists, what do you think on that? That the research finding we are generating should go directly to farmer so that farmer can improve their livelihood. That is the message. Another thing from the director, he said that we as soil scientists, and you and me, how many farmers are using your research finding and they benefit from them? That is the question the DG has left to us. So that we think on that and put in practice. The only thing what we can do actually is to change our scientific knowledge into usable way. That is, farmer can use them for the benefit of our farmers. I have no more to say that I'm appreciating this gathering, and I hope, to my thinking, 2 to 3 years to come, we'll have something. And I believe, they've said from the assistant from my outgoing president, we are an energizer. I think Dr. Mwango, Kiriba, and me, we can. What I can say, we can. So I should say thank you very much, and I appreciate your leadership, and we still building your wisdom so that to prosper this organization. Sincerely, I can say thank you a lot, and tomorrow we're going to have, as the professor said, discussion to Tanga from here. Professor Kimaro has elaborated the escape of the train where we're going. So I think tomorrow we enjoy. For those who have not yet reached their Tanga, you're welcome. And you'll see my old, as the professor said, my old office. You'll come and see my old office there at Tanga, where I'm staying. You're welcome a lot. I should say thank you for listening, and you're welcome. But I'm also very humble to welcome our guest of honor, to give actually his sincere closing remark, but also after giving his remark, I humble to say that also he will close this ceremony for the prayer. You're welcome, Professor. Thank you a lot.
Allow me to begin by again acknowledging that all of you participants, all protocols observed, are appreciated. And when all have been well spoken, what else do you want to say? Yeah, because we have been here for all those hours. And if you are to summarize all that has been said, let me put it in 3 words. One, thank you very much for the East African Soil Science Society for its contribution in fighting the current challenges not only East Africa is facing, but the world is facing. That's one. And therefore, Professor Kimaro and your team and the rest of those, the 50 years are an important milestone towards fighting and combating climate change, and leave alone the political innuendos that come into it from other circles. Let us concentrate on making what Professor Carl said, the eminent soil health. That's one. Secondly, I would like to thank each and every one of you here present and those who intended to attend this auspicious conference, but they could not because of different reasons. And especially, my heart goes to those students who had to go back. I'm informed of students who are coming from Uganda to attend this conference, but for some reason, I don't understand. I guess at this age, some things I don't understand. I couldn't understand that they could cross Busia and get to Namanga and they failed to cross. I don't understand. But we don't want to get into that discussion. But all of you, you are very much, again, most welcome to MWECAU, and thank you very much. I'm deeply humbled by your presence at MWECAU. You have been here for these 3 days. You have seen MWECAU, it's just a simple, humble institution. We continue to stand to grow. And therefore, for me, the professors, Professor Carl, Professor, what's the name again? Karen, and the rest of our partners from Belgium and Germany, but as well all those collaborators from Tari, Mlingano, and some of these collaborators who have been working with, especially with our students, maybe sending their samples there for processing and the rest of those. All those, they come as part and parcel of this process of trying to make our health, our soil healthier. And lastly, the third one, there are so many recommendations that have come out of this conference. And as our new president for the East African Soil Society was saying, let us work on those. Let us work on those, make them more practical in terms of engaging our farmers more and the other stakeholders, but mostly to find ways and means of making our policy makers get more involved in what we are doing. Because yes, we have our farmers, we have their research findings, but then how do we penetrate those to them? So we've got to find ways to get those done. Having said that one, let me once again say thank you very much for all your contributions. Thank you for coming. And I wish you all a very safe trip back to your homes. And with those words, let me say that our conference is officially closed. Thank you.
Thank you, our guest of honor, for closing this conference. Sister Ghislaine. Sister Ghislaine, can you come forward with your team, because now we need to cut our cake before we get out of this door. Very quickly, because we are running out of time and people are very tired. We are going for a late lunch. Some of them have started already drizzling with sleep. Sister Ghislaine, Sister Kiju, the cake. We need to cut it now. We need to cut our 50 years anniversary. Okay. Huh? Okay, please, very quick. Run very fast. Bring it, because we are running out of time. Yes, please come forward. Put it there. Yeah. Yes, bring the table here. Yes, you can remove it. Members of the organizing committee, the media team, please support him on removing the projector. Yeah. And the President of Kenya, President of Uganda chapter, you may also join the chain. Yeah, so that we formulate our, what do you call it, the three what, the union, you call it tripartite union, okay, the tripartite union of both countries. So, Mr. Guest of Honor, please, you can take a knife together as a symbol, and then the presidents will be surrounding him, and then you can cut our golden jubilee cake, celebrating this 50 years anniversary, honoring all the founding members for their tireless efforts and time and dedicating to make sure this society is in place. Let us clap hands for the 50. Let's do the 5 clapping, please, because on behalf of, I mean, like, simplify the 50. Let's do first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
They can just show a symbol.